Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bones we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson. The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
This day, to this day.
TV.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bones we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Best.
To this day.
From TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for this afternoon, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is Theta Waves, featuring the Red Pillar and the Blue Pillar, the twin pillars. All right. Yes, sir. Off of that upcoming project that will be arriving very soon. Y'all wait for it, but it's here. It's on the way, and it's definitely about to land. So yeah, man, we in the building. Peep, what's really? Oh man, it's so much going on. It is so much going on. God damn it! This shit, man. It's 3:00. I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna try to get through this one. As you know, we're supposed to do Sacrilegious Sundays. So you got Sacrilegious Sunday content and Melanin content, Melanin Monday content all together. So this is gonna be a very packed show. Y'all be ready for it. Strap in, get your notepads. You might be driving home with this one, listening to it. This is gonna be this is gonna be packed. This one is gonna be packed. So I don't want to waste nobody's time, because we got work to do. Let's go and let's do the roll call. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go and do the roll call, and then let's get right to it. There's no time for fluff. We got a lot of information to cover. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of shit happening. So let's get to it. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, Eid Mubarak for all of my peoples out there tapping in. And Tama, yes, sir. Portland, Oregon. All right. We got Southeast DC. You understand? Yeah, sure. Shout out to the DC family. Shout out to the DMV family. Shout out to the Memphis family. Shout out to the Charlotte, South Carolina family. Philly in the building. What up? MIA in the building. Maryland, Detroit. We have Cleveland, Ohio, and Denver, Colorado. All right. Richmond, Virginia. San Jose. Chi-Town up in this biatch. Colorado. We got Newton County in Newton, Texas. It sounds like a lot of land is out there. Gainesville in the building. New Bedford, Las Vegas. We got Los Angeles. We have Fort Worth, Texas in the building. Orlando up in this thing. Detroit and whatnot. DMV, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, Detroit. What up though? God damn it, we need a Detroit count. I might create a bot or some type of AI to just count all of the. We need one of those. We need to step it up. I need to make an API, because I need to really know the analytics as to where everybody really is from. Because when I hit the road and I do these boot camps and everything like that, I have to draw from this type of information so we know where we need to be going. We don't want to speculate. You know what I mean? So if y'all live in the North Carolina area, because that's our first stop. If y'all from the Carolinas, period, put the emoji in the chat so I could count it up. We're gonna do it the old school way. Before we get to the API, the AI shit, we got to do it the old school way. Just let me know. Let me see that in the chat so I could start counting things up. I want to know. Southern Oregon. All right. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy spring to everybody. It's very nice. The weather in Atlanta today. I stepped outside with the wife beater on and the shorts and whatnot, and I wasn't shivering. So I sort of what do they call that? That people be sneezing and whatnot. The what's that green dust again? Whatever that shit is, it's on the cars and whatnot. I'm just, it's outside and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's outside. Detroit in the building, Florida in the building, Oregon, Denver, Hollywood, okay, San Antonio, the pollen. There you go. Yeah, the pollen. Get your pollen counters out because I think that it's gonna be a pollen flood this season and whatnot. This shit is popping off. You know what I'm talking about? Modesta, California, ATL in the building, Mississippi in the building, Anderson, Indiana in the building, Malaysia. All right. Jacksonville. All right. Shout out to Jacksonville. Jacksonville, North Carolina. Greensville, South Carolina. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Her father. You know I got her father. You know I got that shit lined up. You know what I'm talking about? You know, yeah, we got Doja Cat father. We got him lined up. We're going to get to that. Cooking her ass. You know what I'm saying? Her weird ass. You know, Alafia to the gods. Yes. Yeah, the gooner trees. Yeah, it's gooner season. The pollen is outside. It's gooner season, guys. You know what I'm talking about? Cover up. DMV. You know what I'm talking about? DMV. No disrespect, light-skinned women, but the ones that got Jewish mamas be doing the most. LOL. Ha ha ha. Man. We're gonna talk about it. I hope nobody catching no feelings, but this is a conversation that needs conversating. You know what I mean? We'll get into it though. Let's warm this shit up. We'll get into it. You know? I caught on to Doja Cat years ago. I had a girlfriend. Well, she wasn't really my girlfriend, but I had a friend, and she put me on to Doja Cat when she did a song called Moo. No. Matter of fact, it was before Moo. This was around 2010. She did a video where she was dressed up like Krishna. No, like Lakshmi. Who remembers that? Who goes that far back with Doja Cat? She did a video where she was dressed up like Lakshmi. Yeah, was it called Get Me So High? Fire. I ain't gonna lie. That shit was fire. And then that Moo shit came later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, she's weird and I like it. It was 2014 around that time. Yeah. I was like, this is interesting. And then she started getting weird on us and did the Moo and everything. And then it was all of that Me No Black and all of this stupid shit. So now with her father coming out and throwing her completely under the bus and explaining what the fuck been going on, I get it now. And then his conversation kind of opened up a complete lane for examination of our daughters and our sistering out there with the Jewish mamas who training their daughters to hate their fathers. This girl sent her father gay porn when her dad just wanted to see her performing and asked her, send me a ticket so I could buy the tickets to come and see you. You know what this woman did? You know what this poor excuse of a goddamn woman did? She sent her African father. This man is from Africa. I believe he's South African. You know what I'm talking about? Piping down to Becky. You know what I mean? Had the child. She sent her father two men, not two women. She sent her father gay porn, bro. Like, what? Now that the nigga from OnlyFans is dead, we need a OnlyFans hit team. Like, We need some. And I need the Iranian women. We need a squad. We need a drop squad for these niggas. Let me just put that out there first, because I'm not gonna put the women in front. We need a drop squad for these, but we need a drop squad of Iranian women and probably the Libyan women and some other women to take care of these women, because they are out of hand, bro. They are completely out of fucking hand, and it's messing up the equilibrium of the entire planet, man. This shit has gone too far. You got a girl sending her dad gay porn. That's just a snapshot of the psychosis of what the fuck is going on in this society, and why this shit is getting bombed. Why this shit is falling in front of us. Why the spring break? Why is Babylon breaking? Why are the foundations of Babylon breaking? Something got to change. This world needs, this shit needs a fucking cleansing, bro. Fire, purification by fire is what the fire horse represents. And I guess that's what the fuck is about to happen, because god damn it, the shit that's going on right now, it cannot last. It cannot last. And it's because let me pull something up. We have become what we despise the most. There's no denying it. There's no kowtowing around it. Black people, more than anybody on the planet, are the whores of the Zionists. They have been molded by the Zions. No other people I see have taken the poison pill like our people. We are the slaves. That's why Kanye said that, and I dare nigga to try to cancel me for saying it. That's why he said that you niggas voluntarily signed up, because that's really what it is. You know what I'm talking about? Before I even begin my conversation tonight, let's start with this.
No packet. I ate noodles with no packet. Cereal with the canned milk. The powder milk.
To this day.
No
To this
milk.
day.
Waffles, no syrup. Jelly. No jelly, nothing.
Nothing. Tell him, Dorothy, we ain't in Kansas no more.
I ate noodles with no packet.
God damn it.
Cereal with the canned milk.
To this day.
The powder milk. No milk.
To this day.
Waffles, no syrup. Jelly. No jelly, nothing.
Nothing. Oh man, the hell? What the hell? We gonna get to you, Doja Cat. We just gotta warm up the skillet. You know what I'm talking about? I will not throw you in the pan until this motherfucker gets warmed up. But yeah, man. we got your ass. We got your ass. We gonna take care of you, mama. You know what I'm talking about? Let us walk these dogs. Let us walk these dogs. You know what I'm talking about? Let us walk these dogs. Let's talk about these men first. Let's talk about these men first. We're gonna get to the daughters and whatnot, but let's talk about these men first, because I changed my name from Red Pill to Red Pillar for a reason. Because when I saw the egregiousness of what was going on and what they call the Red Pill community, at first I brushed it off. I was like, it's nothing. Men going their own way. You know, I like me a little bit of Kevin Samuels and whatnot. But then when they knocked off Kevin Samuels and that shit got hijacked, you know what I'm talking about? And it got hijacked by rogue forces and whatnot. And it went completely toxic. And then it went incel. And then it went men going their own way. And then when I really like just listened and whatnot, and I peeped all of the hate going on, I was like, oh, hell nah. That y'all fucking up the algorithm. Like, my SEO is destroyed. I do not want to be affiliated, because people that don't read and motherfuckers that really don't pay attention, they was like, yeah, Red Pill from Harlem is the leader of this movement. And I was like, how, Sway? How? Like, what? Where did you ever hear me kicking any type of red pill rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I'm going to talk my talk, but I give out my shots evenly. I'm an equal employer. I do headshots on all genres, all genders, from 8 to 80. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold back. Everybody gets a headshot. So I was like, that's not me. So yeah, I changed it to red pillar. And I don't believe in that movement at all. It's fire burned upon that movement. Them are some weak ass men. But listen, it's getting worse. The Clavilius, whatever that white boy's name is, the Peter Thiel's boy toy, and all of this transhumanism that they're pushing. Niggas is hitting their jawline with hammers. You niggas is out here doing what? Look maxing. You niggas is out here look maxing. They took the shaped up eyebrows to a whole nother level. It's called look maxing now. Niggas from the Brook asking if you niggas was online look maxing. I'm not feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they are raising these young men who are literally kind of hopeless, right? Because they not getting no real Becky. You know what I'm talking about? They're not getting the conditioning from the divine feminine. They don't even know how to approach women. They're sitting around gooning all day. You know what I mean? On Pornhub and all of these other places, they have a very skewed perception of what social interaction is. Okay? And it's becoming dangerous. And then you have the Jordan Petersons, and then you have the Andrew Tates, and then you have the Nick Fuentes with his groypers and everything. What are they doing? They're taking full advantage of these young, impressionable men, you know, mostly wafers and whatnot, mostly pink toes and whatnot, but it's starting to affect young black men and shit like that because they got weak brains, right? And it is becoming wild dangerous. So let me play this video and let's talk about it.
Is something, and if you're smart, you'll keep listening. So, and you just stay with me for a minute, maybe 3. Manosphere, red pill, influencer culture. I'm tired of talking about it, and it's not just male resentment, right? Most people are treating this like a social problem, like an internet thing, but it's not. Like, it's not just a phase that boys are going through. I want to offer you something entirely of what it is. What we're looking at is a problem in the pipeline, and it has a destination. Here's what I've watched happen over the last decade working directly with young men, and I need you to hear this, whether you are a young person, a parent, educator, whoever is in community work, simply someone that has a young man in their life that you care about. This thing is a psyop. Manosphere is not just about producing misogynistic or angry, resentful men. It also produces isolated ones, men who've been systematically trained to see relationships with women as a trap or as a threat, as something beneath them. Andrew Tate does say things that commitment is weakness, right? Fashion Fit built an entire platform on the premise that women are idiots and they are the enemy of male success. So young men by the millions are absorbing this, not as like an entertainment, but they're taking it on as instructions. 8 out of 10 teenage boys have consumed some kind of manosphere content, and they've not just been like stumbling across it, they were pushed towards it. Now we know this. Well, researchers have set up accounts posing as teenagers on major social media platforms. Within 30 minutes, every single account was brought towards the manosphere content without searching for any of it. The algorithm does not wait for their curiosity. It actually delivers the content before the question is even asked. This is what it builds inside a young man, right? He has no relational anchors now, no partner because he's told not to have one, no family that keeps him centered, that he's building towards, no one is responsible, no one that he's responsible to or for, yet he's physically disciplined and ideologically charged, and he's completely dependent on male authority figures for his sense of identity and belonging. That is not a free man. That is a recruit. So this isn't theory. This is gaining serious traction, that the incel culture and the broader manosphere red pill movement is happening on purpose. It's a concerted effort to isolate young men, to make them bitter, to ensure they have no meaningful relationships, no one to come home to, nothing to lose, and nothing to abandon. And
So when you get this mentality that I'm beginning to really see, where these young boys are literally hopeless. They don't have when you talk about nihilism, they're nihilistic to a degree that I've never really seen before. Like when I was growing up, yeah, we had the lunch tables and everything, and they had all of the, you know, there was the misfits, you know what I mean? There was the nerds, there was the studs, the athletes, the jocks, and all of these things and whatnot. So yeah, everybody had a place. There was like the, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that wore trench coats and shit like that, didn't get shape ups, you know what I mean? All of that weird shit was going down, right? So I could relate. However, this new genre, this new quote unquote environment that I'm peeping and whatnot, it is young men are withdrawing within and becoming way more weirder. The girls are out here showing their cat, you know what I mean? They're on OnlyFans, they're catching bodies and whatnot. They're going through this feminazi sexual hoe culture, right? Sexy red type shit, twerking on cars, you know, all of that crazy shit. And then the boys, you know, and they're practicing what you call counterculture or alternative lifestyles, right? The girls are like, you know, they're pansexual, trisexuals, right? They'll try anything. And they don't have the guardrails that girls that we were growing up had, to whereas their mother was like, you can't sleep with white people and you can't be around, you can't give your cootie cat up to no white man. That was like a law. Now, I don't know what the mothers of our generation taught their daughters, but that's out the window. They out here with Indians, Russians, Albanians, dolphins, you name it, right? Anyway, the young boys are getting into some weird shit though, and this whole because with the red pill movement comes radicalization. So the red pill movement, it starts with men going their own way. Then they push them down the fresh and fit pipeline. Then they introduce them to Aiden Rothstein and other people. Then they introduce them into Andrew Tate, which is basically soft shoeing them into this quote unquote radicalization. And then they basically push them into like Groyperville. And then they push them into, you know, getting into like, you know, now these niggas is into trans and all type of shit, weirdo shit. Like when I say weirdo shit, weirdo shit. And they didn't necessarily start out like that. You know what I'm talking about? They just was like, you know, they was just trying to, you know what I mean? They just trying to get laid and shit. They was just trying to be men. But that's not what is going on in these quote unquote online back rooms. It seems as if the dark web, the backed up sewage from the dark web has created a septic tank on the main floor of the internet. And everybody is swimming through feces right now. They're all swimming through septic tanks because I literally cannot find a positive output. I can't even find a case study of people who went through that pipeline and came out unscathed as better men, right? You got all of these fake ass red pill dudes in Miami getting locked up for damn near choking out their girls, beating them up and whatnot. They coked up, they skied up, they on that Molly, addicted to that, you know what I'm saying? They addicted to the folly, addicted to that Molly, right? Addicted to the folly. What's the folly? The folly is you're a grown-ass man acting like a child. You're a grown-ass man and your girl is acting like a fucking baby and whatnot. You're addicted to dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? All of these black men, I never seen them produce a queen. I never seen them produce no type of woman that I would be like, damn, I want her. None of them. All they running around is they running around with the bimbos. You know what I'm talking about? You remember when niggas was out here making fake Bugattis and fake Lamborghinis out of shit that they ordered from Temu? Yeah, well, put that on that's the same type of woman that they rolling around with. Nigga, that's not a Bugatti. That is not a Bugatti. That's a Temu Bugatti. You know what I'm talking about? What are we talking about? What do we mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not her, fam. You did all of that to pull up with a Temu Bugatti, nigga. You did all of that talking. You was in a gym for that long, nigga. You put all of that steroids in your body to pull up with a fucking Barbie, nigga. I'm good. So let's continue.
Man has nothing to lose and no one to protect. It's the easiest man in the world to send off to war, to put into the police force, policing forces. Think about that. These young men thought they were waking up. Actually, they were being set up. These institutions have always known this. You do not.
These are the new ICE agents. These are the ICE agents, the Proud Boys, and all of these fuck boys, excuse my Moorish Latin, But that's them, the Andrew Tate followers. They became the Proud Boys. They became QAnon, you weirdos. Because some of these niggas that's in this community was running with all of that rhetoric too, you fucking weirdos. And then they became ICE. They're the ICE agents, the same agents that are in the airport right now running from people with cameras because Donald Trump told these weird niggas you can't wear a mask in the airport. So now they're in LaGuardia, Terminal 5 and whatnot, being chased down because they're looking goofy in the airport and people are taking pictures of their faces so they could dox them, right? These are these weird ass January 6th ICE people right now. These come out of the manosphere. They hate women and they hate themselves. You could look at the behavior and you could tell. And then they just lock arms with their fake homies and whatnot. But it's really giving homoeroticism. You niggas is weird.
Need to force a man to do harm if you can first convince him that the people he would be harming deserve it and they're not his to protect. That's exactly what this content does. It does not just create resentment, it creates the availability for violence. They're conditioning the younger generation to desensitize them through pornography and violence. And we've been so focused on being angry at what these men are saying that we forgot about the younger men, the generations that are coming up.
So these younger men that he's speaking of, and I brought this up before, they were exposed to hyper-violence at a very young age. They were watching snuff films. That's academics and these weirdos. They were watching men in Chicago get their heads blown off, and that became their entertainment. Then right after that, they went to the porn sites to watch trafficked girls, Epstein victims getting piped down, and that was their entertainment, right? And then they graduated to the OF girls, traffic girl. Some of these are trafficked girls, girls on fentanyl, girls on dope, girls on coke. Girls that were being trafficked and whatnot through the borders and whatnot, right? And this is their quote unquote, this is how their brains are developing. This is how this is how their quote unquote, this is how they approach women. This is what they see women as, objects, objectified. Okay? So their propensity to violence, they don't have the guardrails than what an ordinary man would have. They don't have, they're taking out their angst. They're taking out their hatred. They're taking out their rejection. They're taking out their social awkwardness. They just want to bring pain. They just want to bring hurt. They want to go to, they the ones that are probably sitting in a warehouse right now bombing the shit out of babies in Iran. They're looking at these videos from Is It Real, beheadings of children and whatnot, and gooning to it. You got to understand how sick these people are, okay? So you could understand how to move through the sick-ass society that we are in, okay? This is the shit that goes on behind closed doors. It's not even closed doors no more. There's a documentary about a nigga that was gooning at the motherfucking drive-through. They made a whole documentary about him. He got caught beaten off at the drive-thru. This nigga had a wife and kids. Then he went home and killed himself, right? He's become a folk hero. What was the other dude? What was his name? Who had the BMW? Who was an incel? Right? Was it Rogers? It was something Rogers. We know that Captain America is Steve Rogers. This dude was a Rogers. He was like half Asian and whatnot. Okay, and he's their hero, right? He got rejected so many times. He was look maxing, right? This nigga got videos where he's look maxing. What is look maxing? Look maxing is the evolution or the devolution of you niggas that started to get your eyebrows shaped up. Shout out to all of my Dominicans. No, me no papi. Yeah, nigga, you was getting your eyebrows shaped up. You didn't want the unibrow. Niggas was getting eyebrow. Yeah, it's metrosexual act. It's the metrosexual shit gone wild. Okay, when niggas is getting their fingernails painted, they went from getting their eyebrows shaped up. Now it's going into a place where they look maxing. Yeah, Elliot Rodger. Okay, Elliot Rodgers is one of their heroes and whatnot. Okay, Elliot Rodgers is one of their heroes and whatnot. Okay, so this shit is going very far and it's going very dark very quickly and whatnot. And they are indoctrinating millions of young men. Okay. I don't got no, I have no, on some Pamela, on some Baywatch Pam Anderson shit. I don't have no, I can't save the white boys from drowning in the mayonnaise. I can't save them. We don't have no, what's that shit that they throw into the pool to save you? I don't have no, I don't have that for them. I'm trying to save our people. I'm trying to throw something into the pool and save our boys. Okay? I don't know what the fuck going on with them, but I don't want our people getting caught up in that stuff. Okay? So with these children becoming wild, weird life rafts, yeah, with these children becoming mad, weird, and withdrawn, stuck to their phones, stuck in their room, right, and getting indoctrinated and radicalized by these weirdos, I'm just turning the lights on. Yeah, lifesavers. Yeah, we don't have no lifesavers for these for the niggas that we don't have nothing to do with. But we gotta save our babies. We gotta save these young men, because what's going on is they don't have parental guidance. They don't have big homie guidance. They don't have no unk stepping up. It seems like we're just forgetting about these children and throwing them away. It feels like niggas is turning their backs on the younger generation, and they're letting Andrew Tate and Aiden Ross and all of the weirdos raise them up. And that's a problem, because they're not just raising up weird kids right now. They're raising up a bunch of desensitized and dehumanized bots.
The goal wasn't just to make them angry or resentful, but to make them alone, because alone they are manageable, alone they are recruitable, and alone they will follow whoever makes them feel like they finally belong to something. This is what I've seen, and this is what the research shows. This is why the work that I do is so important to initiate a young man into adulthood.
You said, what if it's the parents? I mean, that is, we do have to factor that in. You feel me? You got parents out there, they Andrew Tate clones and whatnot. You have children that were grown up in those environments where the parents are assholes and watching wrestling. I'm not banging on you wrestling watchers and whatnot, but you know what I've said about wrestling before. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. So yes, we are living in a very, very unique time where the parents are my age or younger, and the parents are living through their third childhood. I had the privilege of watching my father and he's a boomer. My dad is a boomer. My dad is like 77 or 78 years old. He's a boomer. He comes from a boomer generation. But when my father was 45, 50 years old, right? That nigga was 50 for real. He wasn't just 50 on the calendar. He was moving like a 50-year-old. He looked like he was 50-year-old. The music that he listened to was music that 50-year-old niggas listen to. It's not the same right now. I'm listening to the same music that a YN is listening to. Me, not really, but I'm just saying, like, there's no real distinction like that. You know what I'm talking about? You got parents out here, the children seeing everything. The children are seeing everything. I remember when all of that fell apart as we were growing up. I remember the collapse, and I've said it again, it happened during the crack era. The elders were holding it down. They were holding this facade of adulthood up. Children should be seen and not heard. Children should know their place. Cover your ears, cover your eyes. When they was playing the Richard Pryor records and whatnot, when they were playing the Millie Jackson records, they would bring the aunties and all of them over. The shit looked like a scene out of Menace to Society when they was in the room playing cards and shit like that. Boy, go in your room. And then niggas would be putting their ears on the door to hear the parents curse and whatnot, writing the curse words down. Oh shit, that's a new curse word, motherfucker. You know what I mean? You couldn't curse around your parents. You couldn't do none of that. My son called me an asshole the other day. my 5-year-old going on 6. I barked on him. He said, "You're an asshole." I was like, you see where we're at right now? Do you see where we're at right now? I would have been missing my front tooth if I said that to my pops, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he did that. You know? Yes, that's what happened. He's an Aries. He said, "You're an asshole." I'm like, what the fuck? So these children are different than the children that we were. And it's we just gotta understand where we are at right now. We just gotta understand where we are at right now. The 40-year-olds don't look 40 no more. The 50-year-olds don't look 50 no more. Damn near the 60-year-olds don't look like they're 60. Okay? Something has changed. So as the parents go through their third childhood, right? Then the children are not developing in the same. So to go and try to reference or to try to use a point of reference when I was your age, when I was coming, we have to factor in every single social factor in the fact that the children are not moving the same way that we moved. Okay? It just is what it is. The children are more angrier these days. I don't remember being so angry. I mean, we had our ways and everything, but I'm looking at these little children with their shicey mask on and shit. I be in Dollar General clutching my pearls like, little nigga, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just trying to get a water. Excuse me, young man. And the nigga works there with a shiesty on. Okay? He works there with a shiesty on. And they had a shiesty on with the motherfucking Dollar General shirt. You know what I'm talking about? But he was in the back of the store like he was ready to spray something. I'm like, excuse me, while you're mopping, I know that the floor is wet. Pass me that water, young man. You know what I'm talking about? They listen to drill music, playing Call of Duty and Fortnite all day. We played outside and they don't, right? We used to slap box. You know what I'm talking about? We used to slap box. We used to play outside. We used to get scraped up and whatnot. We used to jump off the swing onto the fence. We used to doing a bunch of stuff. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. You know? So, yeah. We only got a few weeks left because when GTX drops, it's going to turn them up a whole new level. Right now, they got NBA Youngboy holding them down until GTX 6 comes with new instructions. But these little dudes are a little bit different. Spankings don't work. Punishment don't work. Talking to them don't work. You feel me? You would think that an ass whooping would change things. My guy, it is not changing it. It is not. They making documentaries after they get spanked. They'll go somewhere and record shit like, yo, I just got spanked. It's 3 a.m. Shit is crazy in this household. Listen, send this to the prosecutor and the DA. We filing charges. You know what I'm talking about? Little niggas got lawyers. Before they teenagers, they got they got lawyers on retainer, and they paying them with Robux, huh? Shit, crazy. They watching, they watching hits on camera like old dog. They are on Twitter watching hits on camera like old dog. We used to watch BET hits. Nah, they watching the real hits. Dead ass. They're in school watching the hits. Come on now. Let's just keep it a buck. Yeah, they lawyered up at 12. Let's just keep it 1,000. You know what I'm talking about? You know? You gotta beat them with gloves on. With like oven mitts. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta hit them with oven mitts. You can't hit them bare hand. Shit done changed. Yeah, remember hits from the street? You know what I'm talking about? Remember hits from they are watching hits from the street. That is the war in Chirac in a nutshell. The war in Chirac turned into Trap Law Ross, the nigga with the tattoo, Jake 180 and whatnot. But it's even darker than that, because I've told you before on Reddit, the Reddit chat rooms and the 4chan chat rooms have all of the files of every single murder that has taken place against a rapper. They got the crime scene pictures, and if it was caught on CCTV, they got the video in that bitch. The real hits, uncensored, headshots, standing over niggas. They seeing all of that. They seeing all of that. So we're dealing with a level of desensitization that we necessarily cannot draw. We don't have a reference to that. We don't have a point of reference. We can't go back and be like, nah, that's what we don't know what the fuck this is doing to their brains. Okay? We really don't. Check this out.
I don't think people understand what just happened.
This is even going to make it worse. This is even going to make it worse. They are destroying the Department of Education. Now, I'll just say it like this. I am not a hit. I am not a fan. I am not a proponent. I don't believe in the Department of Education, especially in lieu of what was revealed about them goddamn textbooks, the McGraw-Hill and whatnot. I knew that they was lying, but now we got the proof. I don't agree with none of that shit. However, what I do know is the dismantling of the Department of Education is not because they are pro homeschooling. They're going to give the children the truth. They want the children to know the truth. They're going to bring teachers in. They're going to teach them how to farm. They're going to give them better trades. None of that is about to happen. Linda McMother effing Man, the wife of who? Vince McMahon from the WWE and the WWF, who has numerous lawsuits about his sexual innuendos and the fact that he was out there graping, he was groping, and he was doing a bunch of fuck shit, and even her name is in the lawsuits, okay? And then we got about 20 people from the World Wrestling Federation that died of overdoses, like fucking China and a few of them and whatnot, and it's all tied in to the fact that Vince McMahon is a fucking devil. And who was his underling? Who was his apprentice? Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump is Vince McMahon's apprentice. That's why he was on that bitch wrestling and whatnot. He learned this game that he's doing right now as a motherfucking entertainer president from Vince McMahon. That's who taught him how to take fake shots to his ear and all of that stupid shit that y'all fell for. Vince. And then he let his wife be the head of the Department of Education. Now look at what they're doing.
Okay. I don't think people understand what just happened, because this is one of the biggest moves the Trump administration has made, and it's barely even getting coverage. Donald Trump has officially begun dismantling the entire U.S. Department of Education. Not talking about it, not proposing it. He's doing it. Here's what they're doing, and it's insane. They're carving up the education department and shipping its core responsibilities to totally different federal agencies. K-12 education programs being moved to the Department of Labor. College and university programs, also the Department of Labor. Native American education, shoved into the Department of the Interior. Foreign language programs, handed off to the State Department. Childcare and medical education programs, dumped into Health and Human Services. This is not a restructuring. This is not a reform. This is the first real step into Trump's long-stated goal to eliminate the education department entirely. And here's the part nobody's talking about. He's doing it without Congress. They're using obscure contracts, the Economy Act, to outsource the work to other agencies behind the scenes. That way, the department collapses from the inside out without a single vote. This has never been done in modern U.S. history. A president trying to dissolve a cabinet-level agency unilaterally. That is a massive constitutional fight waiting to happen. During private briefings, officials refused to rule out moving even more, including special education and federal student loans. Yes, special education, student aid, your grants, your kids' services, all of this could be moved out of the education department completely. And remember, they already used the shutdown to slash the agency's workforce and fire employees. This is happening during chaos, while the public is distracted and they are hoping nobody notices. Whatever you think about the Department of Education, love it or hate it, this is one of the biggest federal power shifts in decades, because this isn't draining the swamp. This is dismantling the system that oversees every school district, every college student, every teacher, every kid. And they're doing it by executive maneuvering, not democracy. People should be way louder about this.
The people are debilitated right now because so much is going on. They have not been trained to juggle and chew gum and basically walk at the same time. The people are programmed to only handle one crisis at a time. So while they have the cover of war, they are doing a lot of disgraceful things inside of this government right now. They are moving at an accelerated pace with the fuckery. Shout out to all of the teachers that got out. Shout out to all of the teachers that retired. Shout out to all of the teachers that got fired. Shout out to the teachers that are in there right now, holding their breath, holding their, just holding it down and whatnot, not giving up on these children and whatnot, not turning their backs on the future and whatnot. But you see the madness, you see the sickness, you see the dysfunction and whatnot. Shout out to y'all. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Hold the door. You know, hold the door, my G. You know what I'm talking about? Because something got to give. Let's go.
So you mean to tell me that the same people that are behind the destructive music being pushed towards Black people are the same people behind Zeus Network? You still think it's just entertainment? Ask yourself this. Why don't we get shows like A Different World anymore? Why no more Cosby shows? Why no more Fight the Power energy? Because that kind of content made people think. It made us want more unity, more education, more ownership. It made us actually believe we could be something. And they know that. Now look at what's being pushed. Now it's violence, division, self-hate, self-destruction dressed up as culture. That's not culture. That's conditioning. Let's stop playing dumb. You don't accidentally replace empowerment with self-destruction. That's not random. That's designed. They know what inspires you and what destroys you. And look what keeps getting funded.
Shout out to this beautiful goddess, you know, just bringing the information. Yeah, shit is going crazy right now. Let us continue.
What about TSA and ICE at the airport?
Not yet, sis. Not yet.
For essential.
Not yet, sir. Not yet, sir. Let's do some other things. We'll get to all of that shit, but we got to build up this case. We got to finish building up this case. You know what I'm talking about? It's a lot of things that we need to talk about. So the fact that they have been behind all of the dysfunction, they took so much shit out of schools and whatnot. They took so much stuff off the air and whatnot. You know what I mean? They're hiding our story from us. They're hiding our quote unquote, our beautiful history, right? Buried it. Okay. And then had the audacity. It's one thing to bury that shit, but then it's a whole nother thing to where they just demonized us. You feel me? Made us seem like we was the savages. Whole time.
You and I are living in a historical moment in time.
Whole time.
Emperor of China levels of historic.
Check this shit out.
What do you think was the most surprising thing you learned?
When anybody tries to help us. That's why I say these rappers, these athletes, they are owned. They are controlled. No, they don't have the rights that you think that they have. Okay? They could do nothing for our people. These are corporate whores. And I don't even like to cut it like that. But this comes with no cut. These niggas are a cancer. because they will not stand up and they won't say anything and they getting shaken down. Yeah, 50 win in Rome, my nigga. That's the most Romanist nigga out of Queens that I know.
What do you think was the most surprising thing you learned or you seen when you were around 50?
Say experience-wise, we went on a trip overseas on Gaddafi's private jet, his sons. The Gaddafi that Farrakhan speaks about, that the government, because he's giving everybody free land and all that. I traveled on his private jet to his country, to his private birthday party.
Wait, are you talking Gaddafi, the president of a country, or?
Yeah, the America killed and said he was a terrorist and all that, but they say he was trying to unify the African dollar.
Okay,
Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the dude interviewing him. The majority of the dudes that do these rapper interviews, right? They are small hats, right? Like Zimmerman types, Jewish, Spanish Jews, right? You got Trap Law Ross, you got Jake 1080, you got Aiden Rothstein, you got Vlad the Emperor, you got this nigga Capone, right? All of them are like, they're not us. So I don't know why we keep sitting down with niggas that are not us. He's a fucking goofy. Look at what he says. You mean the dictator? Nigga, the dictator? If you live in America, don't ever have the word dictator come out your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Don't let the word dictator come out of your mouth, bro. You know what I mean? Don't even do it. So you could just tell the indoctrination based off of the questions that these goofies be asking, bro.
Yes.
There was a time when the U.S. government made all celebrities who ever got money from them return the money. And 50 was amongst the people who had to return the money. And I was accompanied 50 on the trip that he got the money on. The Gaddafi son had 50 come and other celebrities. He would fly them out to his private parties with less than 100 people, pay them 250 and upwards to perform at his private events. And I happened to be there at one of those events, and we flew over on this private jet. So that's one of the most memorable things when you relate to who they.
Because it's like, if you decide that you want to do journalism in hip hop, but you did not study, our hip hop culture is more than Big Meech. Our hip hop culture is more than Rick Ross selling drugs in LA. Our hip hop culture is more than the Bloods and the fucking Crips. If you want to study hip hop, you should know that Muammar Gaddafi was trying to give us some money going all the way back to Jeff Fort. You should know who the fuck a Muammar Gaddafi is and what he meant for black people. You should know these things before your asses pick up a mic and you claim that you want to do hip hop journalism, but y'all niggas don't have no type of history. Y'all learning the same way that everybody else is. Why are you doing journalism? You're doing journalism to spread dysfunction. You're doing journalism to spread. You was one of them niggas watching. You're an incel. You're one of them red pill niggas that was watching black men getting murdered. That's your form of entertainment. And then all you're doing is to come and exploit that shit. You want to talk about criminality. You want to talk about dysfunction. You want to talk about niggas urban what's your urban legend? Who did you kill? And all of this dumb shit. Bruh, moving forward, well, like I said, we need a security force. I'm watching niggas get busy around the world and they got their shit together. I'm like, where's our shit at? Why don't we got some fucking... where the hell is our security at? Where's the hardliners? Where's the niggas that step up? The niggas that you don't see until shit gotta go down. Where they at? Because that's what we need right now. Because all of these goofies, they're gonna drive us off the cliff. There's nothing that none of these niggas could do for us, bro. Nothing. They're all Romans.
Gaddafi is, it wasn't Gaddafi, it was his son. But anyway... And
okay, so Gaddafi was the dictator from Libya.
Yes, from Libya.
42
I don't want to call him a dictator because I know that's what America calls him.
When you have a Crip correcting you, right? This nigga's a Crip. You could look it on his face, right? When you got a gangbanger and a Crip telling you, nah, nigga, he ain't no dictator. That's when you know you on goofy time. Huh? That's when you know it's not just goofy time. You are a maggot. You don't really stand for much, bro. You don't have no type of you reporting on our culture, but our culture is not a sellout culture. Allegedly, our culture, we don't side with the beast. That's just off the rip. That's called hip hop. We've always aligned with the rebels. We've always aligned with the freedom fighters. We've always aligned with we don't call niggas dictators. We call them conquistadors, imperialists, and colonizers.
But in the wake of his death, I've been educated on him to a degree. He could have been a dictator, but it seems like people of my pigmentation are giving him a more pure report than dictator. So I don't want to put that on him just because that's what he's been called. I don't know he's a dictator. I've realized he was doing good things for his people at the time of his death. But go ahead. But yeah, that's him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's
fair
him.
enough. Yeah, he was during the Obama administration. I think I want to say around 2012.
Yeah, right up
Obama
in there.
killed
Somewhere
him.
around there.
Hillary Clinton.
2011.
A few years before that, his son flew 50, myself, G-Unit, Olivia, a group.
So all of the goofies that you probably, if they had the camera on the boy, he was Googling it, right? That's all they do is Google shit, right? They don't know nothing. They don't have no history. They have no qualifications, zero qualifications. All they do is just Google things and Wikipedia things. They don't know nothing. These niggas is 2 days out of their mama's basement and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? They have no knowledge whatsoever, but they out here with interviewing people like there's some type of authority, or they're like journalists. They're not. They're gossipers.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Venice, Italy. I think when we got there, we had to get on a taxi on a boat and all that. I think that's where he flew us. And I think he gave at that time 50, like $250,000 to come. 50 performed like 3 songs at his birthday party. $250,000, flew him out there on his private jet. But a couple years later, the government made all those celebrities that had been entertained or that he had entertained in that fashion get that bread back.
All right. So
how'd they do that?
When are they gonna give the bread back that the Saudis gave niggas? When are they gonna give the bread back that the Israeli war criminals gave to these niggas? When is that gonna happen? Because they've been giving up a bunch of motherfucking kibbles and bits to all of these dog-faced niggas for many, many decades to sell us out. When are they gonna give these OnlyFans slores? When are they gonna be forced to give the money back that Israel been giving them? When? If they gonna do that, when they gonna? I would have never gave no damn money back. Are you crazy? Lock me up.
On the side, they had told some years ago, they told Farrakhan he couldn't accept some money from that dude before.
Really?
So, like you say, dictator. However, the U.S. government had classified him. I guess it was the dean. They could tell you that money ain't no good. And yeah.
So you think 50 had to give $250,000 back to him?
Oh my mama, that's what I believe. If I'm incorrect, it's by somehow they changed it. He filed against it, but that is what was reported, and that's the way it happened. Yeah.
Damn. What was the party like?
It was fly, bro. It was very intimate. The Gaddafi, the dude, is as if I'm sure I was shocked because he treated me as if I was on his guest list, and he was happy that I was there. Anytime I bumped into him in the room, it was almost like he didn't separate me from 50 in the group. So he was very respectful to us.
That's the son that they just killed too, by the way. That's the son that they just killed.
Very humble, but it was a very small, intimate party, bro. It wasn't it was just him and his friends going big right in front of the stage while 50 party, and while he performed, and that was like, thanks, buddy. It's nothing big. Yeah. It was
3 songs only.
About 3 songs.
Are we smoking on the OF? Yes, we are smoking on the OF Creator Pack. I'm actually getting that pack design right now. I hope that Queen Lizard Biff didn't run out. You know what I'm talking about? We couldn't get the BB pack, so we got the OF pack. Respectfully. You know what I'm talking about? We didn't get the BB pack. The BB pack didn't land. It didn't make it through customs. So yes, we smoking on the OnlyFans pack. Yeah, that's going up in flames, and it's smoking real good. It's smoking real good. I promise you, that shit is puffing real hard. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that part. But we do have the Tel Aviv pack. We do got the Tel Aviv pack. That shit hit hard too. You know what I'm talking about? We do got the Tel Aviv pack. That shit is going hard. White runts all day. Yeah, white runts all day. Y'all feel me? Let's get back to the pretendians or the people who are vulture cultures and culture vultures. We got white boys washing up white boys. What a day to be alive. What a fucking time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Famous white rappers and one Canadian are able to sing the same exact top line on the same exact beat and the same rhythm for the entirety of their career, projecting the same suburban-based born-again imposter syndrome that's going to be sold as music to a bunch of all-white fraternities by a bunch of old white Jewish guys is because it's hard for the Jewish guys to work with talented people. They have musical boundaries. They just find actors who are willing to steal other people's music. I haven't met one person who knows who Drake's uncle is. They know nothing about him, and that's why the whole thing works. It's easier to find a white kid who's just willing to take the credit for the music that was played by literally Robert Glasper and Corey Henry. Famous white rapper actor transition only works because their fan bases don't understand the differences between the mainstream rap that's buying up all the spots on Billboard, just colonizing the land for 5 years at a time until they age into their R&B or like rock country phase, and authentic offshoots like backpack rap, battle rap, or alternative rap rock, things that are not the same as the psyop. Not just rappers, white pop stars throw away their mascots when being thick stops being too trendy or when they need to change their political affiliations because they need to keep selling the same storyline to preteens. It's what always happens when your fame is more reliant on your age than it is your talent. But for the record,
I got blacker.
Is the whitest thing you can say because understanding their history is not feeling their pain, and learning the art that they invented to be played in the background of their resistance is not going to accomplish that goal either. It's also not a goal line. That's kind of the main problem here. And even if it was, if you look like me, you're not going to cross. Either way, I just wanted to remind you again, races are a modern invention used to create division that only benefited 10 pedophilic billionaire cannibals and Jack Harlow. A couple of us didn't learn the first lesson of kindergarten, which was like, you can't go everywhere you want and take everything you like. In the adult world, that is, when it comes to land and, art especially, that's called getting whiter. Okay, have a nice day.
He talking about he getting blacker. Yeah, yeah, let us continue. Man, we might as well get into this shit. Yeah, we might as well get right into Doja Cat's stupid ass. Let's go. Let her daddy talk. So for some context, ladies and gentlemen, Doja Cat has a melanated, a black father, right? This is a warning for everybody out there that's running around. I'm just giving you, I'm not getting in nobody's business. I'm just showing you what's going on with these children, and some of the ramifications of mixing with people who have no ties to your culture whatsoever. As a matter of fact, these people, right, sometimes fetish your culture, but they don't respect the culture. Then when you have them children with them, you really get to see what the fucking issue is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's just go down a little bit of let's walk this dog.
But Dumsan is quiet, he's not saying anything. Today I want to tell you the fact. I've worked so hard to make my name, which is my reputation. I've worked so hard to fight for this country with Sarafina. And then I made a platform for this world to be where it is. And then I happened to meet Doja Cat, so-called Doja Cat, but I named her Zandile. And then I've been sad, but no one knows what happened. But today, without a media briefing, guys, You can't be in a foreign country and find a woman, a white woman, with 3 kids. And then you make 2 kids with her. And then she becomes so lucky that she gives birth to the superstar. And then she gives information to the superstar that your father is not a good man. I'm talking about a white woman, Jewish woman. Today, I want to tell the world that I'm not going to be used by a white woman with 3 kids, that I was feeding those kids with the money of Sarafina. And my name and my reputation as a...
So, just for some context, a South African man who, during the time of the apartheid, when they was telling us in America, don't wear Reeboks, don't fuck with nothing South African because they are committing apartheid against Winnie Mandela and her people. He went and got some money and laid up, right, with a Jewish woman. Of all women, he laid up with a Jewish woman. She had a motherfucking child with a big ass forehead named Doja Cat. Now she's treating her father like a fucking piece of shit, and he's coming in with the PSA. Right? Yeah. He was in Sarafina. He was an actor in Sarafina. Now he's one to coming in with a fucking PSA. It's too late, my nigga. It's too late. This what y'all do over there. Like, let's be clear. It's too late, my G. But we'll let you talk.
Good man. I love my kids. I took care of her kids, Deborah. 3 kids, white kids. They hated me. And on top of that, I spoke to Deborah that I would love you to come home. And she came home. She met my family. But no one ever talked about that. And today, just because I gave birth to a superstar with money, and then it happened that white woman brainwashed my baby, that I left her. I never left my kid. And everyone saw it. She played the cards because of influence of her mother. She came to South Africa. She's got power to see me. And she faked it. So what I want to say is to say to you guys, I am sorry if
The pops is apologizing. 3 kids.
touch anyone's nerve. I'm a man of integrity, respect, and love. Please don't hate my baby. Please don't say things to my baby. But know that I love her. She's the best artist. And she's been fed with evil by her mother. Please. That's Dumsan Dlamini. Spiritual man. I don't live to impress, I'm an impression. I make the fear face me. I'm a God's son. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Bye.
I was messaging my father because he's here in Africa. And he said that he couldn't make it to my show because I don't message him enough and I didn't call him on WhatsApp. So I sent him gay porn and they said if you go to this link you can get a ticket. It's super duper easy. And he said, oh yes, I will send this to my management. My management will handle all of this. At the moment I'm just very busy doing costume and rehearsal, so at the moment I cannot do this myself. So fuck fair, right? And so then he's at work, right? And he's working, and so he just keeps on messaging me, and he says, I'm just very busy right now, and I can't get to the phone. I can't do and then keeps messaging that to me. And then I sent him the website again. He said, what is the website? Because we were messaging each other, but he didn't see the link the first time. And so I sent it again. And he said, darling, what is this? What I'm seeing is a gay porn. It's like a porno on my screen, and I don't know if it's a scam, because I feel like a scamming here. So please, sweetheart, I don't know what to do with this. I can't get the ticket.
So this is the same woman who a lot of black children were fooled into not just listening to, it's beyond listening to, like they become infatuated with these artists and whatnot. They become sort of like they live vicariously through these artists and whatnot. These artists become their quote unquote leaders, right? These artists become their quote unquote representatives of how they are to fashion themselves in society and whatnot. So nobody wants to have the conversation. Nobody really wants to go deep about what about mental illness. You feel me? Nobody really wants to go deep about mental illness. Nobody really wants to say, nah, that chick looks sick. She looks crazy, fam. Like nobody really wants to say these uncomfortable things. But this is an evil ass fucking woman right here. Look at her. Just look at how she's speaking, right? She's speaking to Israelis. She's speaking to Khazarians. She's speaking to them people in Ibiza. She ain't speaking to no ghetto girls. She not speaking to no hood chicks. You know what I'm talking about? She's talking to her white audience as she mimics her father's accent, and she basically reports that, yes, I am destroying this man. I am, quote unquote, disrespecting my father by sending him gay porn. Like there's no other level of disrespect. How far can you take your disrespect? That's the brink of it. Right? Even though whatever her dad did, and he might not been there, and and he's reporting that it was her mother that had a lot to do with it, because sometimes the fathers don't tap in with the children because the mothers is just it's unbearable to even be amongst the mother. And then they just be like, you know what, you and your white mama, or you and your mama, y'all just stay together because I'm good. I'm shit is just, you crossed the line. This is not just a Doja Cat issue. I'm highlighting that because she's a celebrity. But this is some shit that has a lot of ramifications. Okay? She needs an ass whoop. She needs her ass whoop. For real, for real. I wish. I mean, God damn it. And that's so dangerous that she's even putting shit like that out there because of her influence. It's her influence and the fact that she'll go live and talk about it. Like that's a new level of low, right? This is who these people are banging on in the Middle East. And they in the middle, and to be honest with you, when it comes to the Middle East, they got their own shit that they need to get fire bun. You know what I mean? They not perfect. They got their own shit that they need to get checked on. You know what I mean? But at least they are attempting to push back against the evil. At least they are attempting to fight back against it and position themselves as some type of moral authority and whatnot. At least niggas ain't doing that. That's not what the black race is known for doing right now. I don't know about, don't talk to me about the Black Panthers and shit like that. We talking about right now. We talking about right now. Okay, they're more so siding with these people. They more so I could draw 1,000 comparisons to how niggas move and to how these Sabatian Frankists are moving. It's almost like a twin. A twin. The dysfunction, the barbarity, the bestiality, the backwardsness, the waywardness, the desensitiveness, the dehumanizationness. This is who these people are burning effigies against. This Moloch energy. This Moloch energy. This Baal energy. This Shaitan energy. This godless energy. And I'm not a religious person. I think all of these niggas is kooks. All of these people, I feel they all kooks because they all caught up in a motherfucking spell underneath these Abrahamic religions. I'm not rating none of them. I ain't co-signing none of them. They all crazy. Because that's where the quagmire is coming from. You got crazy people calling crazy people crazy. You feel me? You got people who commit sins against melanated black people, banging on people who commit sins against melanated black people. And like I say, they put us in the middle of all of this shit. We the ones, you know, they say when these people, when they fight, the grass is what gets, the grass, you know, there's that saying, and when elephants fight, the grass suffers. It's at this time. It's at this time where I want all of these conscious niggas to be talking that alien shit. Make a call, nigga. All y'all on y'all YouTube channels with y'all alien rhetoric, make a call, because at this time we could get picked up. It's at this time that you niggas make the call for the pickup, because I'm ready to go. You know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about these goddamn religions. Let's go into it.
Originally from Yemen means desert nomads are originally from the south. Maghrib doesn't mean Morocco, Shams doesn't mean Syria, and Yemen doesn't mean a country. Yemen is a direction on an ancient compass. In general, Shamal is north, that's where you get Shams in Arabic. Mashriq is east, which is why ancient Arabs refer to Indians and Chinese as Al-Sharqiyun. Al-Janub is south, and Maghrib, coming from Gharbi, means the west. Anything to the west of Mecca is Maghrib, not just Morocco. You can also orientate with the four corners of the Kaaba, the north one being Al-Iraqi, Al-Aswad to the east, which is the direction of the Black Stone, Al-Shami to the northwest, Al-Yamani to the south. Yemen is this direction from Mecca.
Okay. To have a better understanding about who the fuck these people are and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, is not what you think. It's not necessarily what you think. Now let's check this out. As Easter rolls around the corner and all of this other shit, let's get this information going. Why they hate us and why they have this quote unquote anti-Moorish gripe. Let's talk about it.
Have you ever heard of the Nazarenos, the original KKK who tortured the Moors? Let's talk about it.
The Holy Week is coming up, and many people are unaware that the original KKK started in Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Their name is Nazareno. Their outfit is capirote. A caparo is a tall, conical pointed hat worn by Piscitans and Nazarenos. in Spain, Italy, and other historical Catholic regions, primarily during Holy Week. Processions originating from the Inquisition.
They never taught us this in school. They never taught us this in college. They never taught us this in none of these McGraw-Hill textbooks when they was telling us about the Holocaust and all of this other shit, Schindler's List. They never said, hey, yeah, by the way, those KKK that we putting you in fear about, those Ku Klux Klan that we're teaching you about and everything, you know what I'm saying, that we refuse to call terrorists, yeah, there's a historical reverence to them. Huh? They never told us this shit.
These hoods represent humility, penance, and a spiritual, closer approach to heaven. This is my first source, Spain, a history.
A nigga go to Spain on a little European vacation with his boo thing, and you walk down the wrong block and see this type of shit, you gonna poop on yourself. God damn it. They didn't tell you none of this. They didn't prepare you for none of this. You don't know what the fuck is going on.
History and arts. These are the hoods of the Nazareno. Different variations covered the face exactly like the KKK. This is my next source, Hooded Americanism. Look at these outfits. These are the exact outfits as the Nazarenos. And just in case you forgot, the Nazarenos played a part in the Inquisition. What role did they play in the Inquisition? And I quote, public humiliation. Individuals arrested by the Inquisition were forced to wear the caparot, often made of cardboard or paper, along with a saponito during public processions or acts of faith. So in Spain and Portugal, they made the Moors wear pointy hats, an outfit of what you're being accused of, burning people and demons. This is my next source, The Other, 1492. And I quote, their job, Nazareno, was to search out and punish Judaizers, those who showed even the slightest sign of supporting or observing a Jewish law, custom, or tradition. The inquisitors began by setting a trap. They invited any guilty Morenos to come forward and confess with no fear of punishment. So your Morenos are Jews who refuse to convert to Christianity. These are your Berber Jews, and they're called Heritans. And I quote, the Heritans or the Heritans.
What do the Spanish niggas call us? They call us all up in Latin America. What are we called by the Spaniards? Morenos. Right? Remember that? Morenos.
Are distinct historically marginalized.
These are the melanated Jews that got ousted in the capitulation and whatnot. That is not Goldilocks and them niggas. That is not Satan Yahoo and them. Talk black to me.
Population group of black African descent inhabiting the Sahara or Sahel, particularly in Mauritania and Morocco, often referred to as black Moors. This is the image of the black in the word
the Sahel. The same region that is rising up right now, the same region that they are going crazy about, the same region that ousted the French, the Sahel. That's where the Moors, that's where the dynasties of the Moors originally came from. The melanated dynasties that sacked Europe and whatnot. They come from the Sahel region, Abbasid dynasty. The Nasir dynasty. Okay?
With no fear of punishment. So your Morenos are Jews who refuse to convert to Christianity. These are your Berber Jews, and they're called Heritans. And I quote, the Heritans or the Heritines are a distinct historically marginalized population group of black African descent inhabiting the Sahara or Sahel, particularly in Mauritania and Morocco, often referred to as black Moors. This is the image of the black in the Western art. And I quote, black Morenos were clearly distinguished from Moriscos. So black Jews were clearly distinguished from Arabs who were forbidden to have slaves for fear that they would convert them to Islam. So Arabs were forbidden to have black Jewish slaves because they were scared they were going to be converted to Islam. As recent conversos, whether Jewish or Muslim, were often suspected of heresies and relapse. So black and brown people were being persecuted during Holy Week, just like the KKK.
So the Cape Verdeans, right? When you go to Cape Verdes, the people in Dimona, they got bombed, right? The black Jews from Atlanta, from Soul Food Vegan. What's the name of the vegan spot? They went and set up shop in Satan's land. They went and set up shop around Satan Yahoo and all of them. Yeah, they got bombed the other day, okay, by Iran, right? The black Jews that you find in Nigeria, the Igbo and all of them people, okay, the Ethiopians and them, that's who we talking about. Those were the people that got ousted and whatnot. Those are when they say the Jews invited the Moors into the Iberian Peninsula to topple King Roderick and the Visigoths, they're not talking about Rabbi Smirnoff and all of them. You know what I'm talking about? They're not talking about them. They're talking about the melanated Jews and whatnot, okay? And when they did not convert, they did not want to convert. They converted when they converted the melanated ones into Christians. When they anglicized them become the Moriscos. And the Moriscos is who they use. The conquistadors use these people to pull up on our people in the Americas and commit the atrocities. I told you before, they look like Drake, and they was looking like the nigga DJ Khaled and French Montana. You feel me? They was looking like French Montana, right? So let us continue. Let us continue. Just so we can have a better understanding as to who these people are versus who they're not. Because they could definitely confuse us. We don't understand our history because it wasn't taught to us. Feel me? It was not taught to us. So let's see something.
I would like to give a round of applause to
This regime that threatens the entire world has to be stopped.
We're going to get to you in a minute, Satan Yahoo.
I'm a Christian. I'm from a Jewish
So these people right here.
I'm a Christian. I'm from a Jewish family. I have become a Christian at the age of 29. And I feel my mission because I believe I'm Catholic today. But I come because I love very much my people. And I do these books so that all the Catholics can know the rules, where they come from. They can know.
If someone was born a Jew, he is a Jew for all his life.
Yes, I know.
And he cannot change it. He can make only his life more complicated.
So you got to keep the historical context in line. You got to be able to have a historical context. The fact that people convert these days is not frowned upon the way that it was hundreds of years ago. You literally could get bodied for that. You could get bodied for switching up and dropping your flag. The drop your flag challenge back in the days, you would get killed for that shit. You was not gonna be born a Jew and then pop up, yeah, I'm a Christian. Henceforth, why you have so many crypto Jews, right, that will fake it on the surface, but when it's all said and done, when the doors is closed, them niggas is out there doing Moloch and Baal and all of that. You know what I mean? They wear that shit as a fucking uniform and a mask, right? But as you can see, that's the one that they said, I think that's Rabbi Shmir or whatever his name is, who's supposed to be their Messiah and whatnot. That's the nigga that they're banging for right here. And he told homie, yeah, and my nigga, I don't know what the fuck you talk about. You're born a Jew, you stay one.
No, my life is much better today.
Miserable.
My life is not miserable today.
If someone is thinking about his illness, that is a healthy thing, that is only a sign that his illness is more possible and needs a refuah, a garrison, a treatment as soon as possible.
Nigga looking like the Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm talking about? I could just smell it through the video. Like, it's horrible over there. You know? That's the people. Those are the same people that do circumcisions with their mouthpiece. With their mouthpiece. Okay? That's what they do. That's what they do. You know?
If Iran is weaker,
let's see.
Something is happening in hip hop right now that nobody can fully explain. Rappers who built their entire careers on being anti-static.
Let's go to these
happening
slaves.
in hip hop right now that nobody can fully explain.
Let's talk about the slaves, right? Let's talk about the ones that they have on a leash. Let's talk about our former heroes, because I admit that when I was a young man, I looked up to the hip hop artists like they were gods. Yesterday was the anniversary of Blueprint 322. We were supposed to do a special show for y'all, but things didn't work out as planned. You know what I mean? I had a surprise, but it didn't work out as planned. Blueprint 322 is me, Blue Pill, A Rashid, and Black Dot. It was a lecture that we did, one of my first lectures, 2010. And that basically was my exit strategy out of the quote unquote hip hop industry. That was my middle finger, and that was my declaration of war, right? And we've been going hard and we've been crusading against these niggas ever since that day. And here we are, you know what I mean? Still banging on these beasts and whatnot, but they losing a miserable war. I promise you, it's so much blood on the dance floor. You know what I'm talking about? We beheading these niggas, guillotining them, putting their heads on stakes. You know what I'm talking about? Ever since that war started, this shit has collapsed. So let us go.
Something is happening in hip hop right now that nobody can fully explain. Rappers who built their entire careers on being anti-establishment are suddenly lining up behind a president that most of them publicly hated just 5 years ago.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it?
Now everybody's entitled to their own political opinion, but it begs the question, why now and why so publicly? In 2018, Nicki Minaj went on social media and talked about how she came to the United States illegally at 5 years old. She directly called out Trump's family separation policy.
I couldn't imagine a little child going through all of that trying to get to another country because they didn't have money in their country, or, you know, whether you're fleeing from war, whatever it is, and then being taken away from the one person that makes you feel comfort, you know? That is what really raised my eyebrows. I was like, this is something about this doesn't sit right in my spirit.
Now fast forward to January 2026, this same woman is standing inside the Treasury Department holding Donald Trump's hand, calling herself his #1 fan, and then Trump gave her the $1 million gold card, which he says fast-tracks your immigration visa. But what he's not telling you is the gold card is basically worthless. A Homeland Security official told New York Times that the gold card was basically a novelty item with no legal standing. Plus, Nicki has already been a permanent resident for almost 20 years. It just doesn't make sense. And then Snoop Dogg in 2017 threatened to blacklist any rapper who touched the Trump stage. But then in 2025, he performed at the Crypto Ball to celebrate Trump's inauguration. See, when I started digging into this, I found something that goes back way further than MAGA, further than politics. I found a business strategy that's been running for almost 40 years. My search led me to a book that Trump wrote in 1987, where he basically lays out exactly how he operates. And when you read it, you realize he's been running the same playbook on the music industry for decades. In chapter 2 of The Art of the Deal, he lays out exactly how he approaches every negotiation, relationship, and transaction in his life. He writes, leverage is the biggest strength you can have. Leverage is having something the other guy wants, or better yet, needs. Or best of all, simply can't do without. So basically, you find what somebody needs and use it to create loyalty. But why rappers? And why would he need leverage from any musician? Well, the answer is influence. Since 1989, Trump has been name-dropped in over 300 rap songs. Rick Ross mentioned him in 9 different songs. Nas referenced him 7 different times. Migos, Young Thug, Lil Wayne, Raekwon, they all threw around Trump's name the same way they do with cars and luxury brands. Rappers were saying things like, stacking paper like Trump, and guess who's the black Trump? And I'm Donald Trump in a white tee. But here's the part that nobody ever puts together. Trump wasn't just a name that rappers dropped in songs. He was actually a mover and shaker in the music business itself. Back in the 80s and 90s, Trump owned multiple casinos in Atlantic City. Trump Plaza, Trump Castle, and the Trump Taj Mahal. Atlantic City was the East Coast Vegas, and Trump's properties were at the forefront for live entertainment. One of their main budget items was concerts and shows. Mike Tyson was fighting at Trump properties. Major artists like James Brown and the Rolling Stones, they performed. In the late 80s and 90s, Trump's casinos were a pretty big gig. But the bridge between Trump and specifically hip-hop was none other than Russell Simmons, the co-founder of Def Jam Records and one of the pioneers of hip-hop as an industry. And for over 30 years, he was one of Donald Trump's closest friends.
And I'd been his friend. I'd been back and forth to Mar-a-Lago on his plane so many times. I've been on his helicopter so many times. I was there on his first date with Melania. I mean, I've always been his friend until he ran for president. Instantly.
You were on his first date with Melania?
Yeah.
And this matters because Russell Simmons was a gateway for him. Trump got a feature on Method Man's album in 98, and in 94, Trump and Marla Maples appeared on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Thank you for ruining my life!
Ashley!
What did you do?
Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Trump became a part of hip-hop's culture, and he was walked in by one of hip-hop's most powerful figures. Now, eventually, Russell Simmons cut Trump off as soon as he ran for president.
He was always very kind to me, to my brother. He's a very likable person. But I just don't think he's a suitable person for presidency, right?
But it was too late. Trump already got what he wanted out of him. The next connection really surprised me because nowhere was Trump more connected to the music industry than with Michael Jackson. What most people don't realize is how close Trump and Michael actually were. They met at Madison Square Garden in '88, and in 1990, Michael was at the grand opening of the Trump Taj Mahal. And Trump said something that I want you to remember for later. He said, if I ever needed him, he'd always be there. Very loyal to his friends. That same month, they were flying together on private jets. They traveled in a motorcade together. And in 1994, Michael rented out an apartment in Trump Tower while he was recording the History album. He was living
have to keep in mind that the younger generation, right, the youth, they are not familiar with Donald Trump's trajectory through hip hop. The younger generation were exposed and introduced to Donald Trump during the Apprentice series. That's where they found out who Donald Trump was during the Apprentice. Y'all didn't know about Donald Trump's trajectory through hip hop. His train left his train left the train station in the 80s, my G. And he did not have white friends back then. He was not rolling with David Duke. He was not rolling with white supremacists. He was not rolling with Satan Yahoo. Satan Yahoo been out. That nigga been around. He was not doing none of that. To win until his wife married Jared Kushner, everything changed, y'all. Everything changed. Trump was on a nigga train. Okay? Trump was on a nigga train way back in the days.
Floors below the Trump penthouse and would actually watch TV with his family. Michael even mentioned Trump's name in his song called Money. So now Trump has another high-profile friend in the bag. But who wouldn't want to be friends with the greatest entertainer of all time? But the next connection is where the waters really start to get muddy. From 1997 on, Trump and Diddy were everywhere together. The U.S. Open, the grand opening of Diddy's restaurant, Justin's, Diddy's 29th birthday party. Trump also attended one of Diddy's infamous white parties in the Hamptons. The two were tight.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
The point is, By 2014, Trump had spent nearly 3 decades building relationships with the most powerful people in music. He was their landlord, he was their casino host, their party buddy, their symbol of wealth. And not only that, everyone loved him. But then he ran for president, and everything changed.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Could he actually win? No freaking way.
Trump will not be president. Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
You're not going to be president.
We're fucking talking about a madman, incompetent buffoon being the most powerful man on earth.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
Brace for impact. New York Times now saying the chance of a Trump presidency is 92%. Brace for impact.
Right now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency.
This man is arrogantly marching us towards fascism.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
You're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life. This is your life.
Trump's game plan was starting to crack. By the time he was in office, most of Trump's mentions in rap songs were negative. YG and Nipsey Hussle dropped FDT, and dozens of artists started sending cease and desist letters demanding Trump stop playing their music at rallies. Trump's strategy of having influential friends wasn't quite working the way he thought. He needed a new game plan. Now, the first rapper to come out in full support of Trump was Kanye. But he doesn't really count because Kanye, he just goes against the grain just to go against the grain. He does shock value just for the hell of it. And even Trump distanced himself from him when Kanye became a liability to his image. So even that relationship was transactional. But Trump's real game plan came around the end of his first term. By 2020, Trump had lost most of his entertainment industry support. But remember, Trump doesn't need friends. He needs leverage. And on his way out of the White House in 21, he found the most powerful leverage the music industry has ever seen.
And new this morning, ahead of leaving the White House, President Trump has issued his final list of presidential pardons and commutations. Other notable names on the list include rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black.
And if you look at who got them, it looks random, but if you follow the music industry, it's not random at all. Lil Wayne got a full presidential pardon. Wayne had pleaded guilty to possessing a firearm as a convicted felon. He was facing 10 years in prison. But ever since Trump pardoned him, he's been showing support, publicly endorsing him. Now, Lil Wayne's attorney told the New York Times that the weapons charge wasn't the reason for Lil Wayne's support. But in the same breath, he said it may have ultimately been a factor. His own lawyer basically admitted the connection while technically denying it. Then you got Kodak Black. Kodak Black was serving 46 months for falsifying firearm purchase forms. And then Trump gave him a commutation which lowered his sentence, and he was released immediately. Since then, Kodak has shown loyalty nonstop, appearing at Trump rallies, rapping on Trump anthem songs.
Trump a real one, you know, me Geminis. And so Trump know what's up. We both us Geminis. His birthday 2 days after mine. He be down here and stuff, Palm Beach.
Now, Kodak, he's Haitian, right? And even when Trump was making comments about Haitians eating cats and dogs, Kodak still stood behind him. But that's how deep the loyalty runs when someone can keep you out of jail. Now, someone you might not know, Desiree Perez, also got a full pardon. She was the CEO of Roc Nation, Jay-Z's company. She was pardoned for a narcotics conspiracy conviction. Now, why would a Roc Nation executive randomly get a presidential pardon? Now, most recently, Trump pardoned.
He's buying favors. He's buying favors. Niggas are for sale. He's buying favor. Let's talk about it. Near one of these niggas have said anything about ICE. They haven't said nothing about Epstein. They ain't say nothing about is it real, niggas. Fuck just talking about Trump. They haven't been vocal on nothing, not even a tweet.
An NBA YoungBoy on gun charges. But this next one was really the tipping point. Michael Harry Harris is another hip-hop mogul that the average person may not be familiar with, but he co-founded Death Row Records with Suge Knight and sold drugs so he could make money to start businesses. And in 2021, Trump got him released from jail and eventually fully pardoned him. Now, Harry O has deep ties and a lot of respect in the music industry as the co-founder of Death Row Records. But guess who's running Death Row now? In 2017, Snoop threatened to roast any rapper who performed for Trump.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one?
Say it ain't so, Snoop Lion. Say it ain't so, Snoop Lion. The fuck?
You jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it. I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out of one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osby's the one that's performs for himself.
The same year, he released a music video where he pointed a gun at a clown dressed as Trump. But after Michael Harry O'Harris gets clemency from Trump, Snoop's tone starts to shift. By 2024, he's telling the Sunday Times, "I have nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump." And in January 2025, Snoop performs at Trump's inaugural crypto ball in Washington, D.C. The same man who threatened to roast any rapper who performed for Trump, performed for Trump.
This nigga had to be the DJ and the art. Look how crazy that is. Trump had him doing a double job. He doing the DJing and he performing. They got this nigga on the switchboard. Hey, he's the sound man and the artist.
And what was Snoop's response for getting all the backlash? He said, "He ain't done nothing wrong with me. He has done only great things for me." In other words, leverage. I scratch your back.
Make it work like always.
Let's call it the Trump loyalty program.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
You know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard. I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
Now, the pardon strategy only works for rappers with legal troubles. But what about the rappers who just need a check? 50 Cent said Trump's team offered him $3 million to perform at the Madison Square Garden rally.
Is it true Donald Trump tried to give you money to endorse him one time?
Yeah, and they just offered me $3 million.
To perform?
At the RNC or this past Sunday?
This past Sunday.
At $3 million. Mm-hmm. And then they offered you money for the Republican National Convention too, right?
He turned it down, but the offer of $3 million shows us what the going rate is for a major hip-hop cosign. Trick Daddy, he claimed on his radio show that Nelly got $1.5 million for performing at the inauguration. And Soulja Boy, he was seen flashing a bunch of cash after performing at the crypto ball.
Obama ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga.
For contrast now, at Obama's 2009 inauguration, the creative director said the artists were invited to perform and didn't get paid. So if Trump's team is paying above market rates for performances, that's a big incentive for artists, no matter what their political views are. And by the way, this isn't something new for Trump. The FEC confirmed in 2015, when he first announced that he was running for president, his campaign literally paid actors $50 each to attend the announcement. Wear a t-shirt, carry a sign, cheer. The Hollywood Reporter obtained the casting call email from a company called Extra Mile Casting. He was paying people to fake enthusiasm from day one. So you got struggling artists who need a check. You got rappers at the end of their career who need a check. And then you got the rappers who need to stay out of jail. I mean, hate it or love it, it's honestly genius. But there's one more piece to the puzzle. The one big, beautiful bill. Most A-list musicians make well over $500,000 a year. And Trump lowered the maximum tax rate from 40% to 37%. On top of that, he added an extra tax cut for people with LLCs and S-Corps, which include rappers. Now, that's good news for all business owners, but for rappers making millions a year, they're saving hundreds of thousands in taxes. So when Nicki Minaj pledges $300,000 to donate to Trump-branded savings accounts, she's investing into a system that could return multiples of that in tax savings alone. Not to mention she gets to write off the $300,000 off her taxes too.
Nikki makes a lot of money and she's generously stepping up. She's investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children.
So for every single one of these relationships follows the same formula. The same formula Trump literally wrote down in 1987. What does the artist want? Freedom. That's the pardons. Money, that's the performance fees and tax cuts. Relevance, that's the political platform and the White House access. And what does Trump want? Credibility. Specifically cultural credibility, but even more specifically, black endorsement from famous rappers.
I have a great relationship with the blacks. I've always had a great relationship with the blacks.
Trump wrote in The Art of the Deal, you have to convince the other guy that it's in his best interest to make the deal. And that's the whole game. Every pardon, every payment, every gold card is Trump convincing an artist that standing next to him is their investment. And for most of them, it is. But when rapper after rapper who previously condemned Trump, suddenly they show up at his events, performing at his parties, and every single one of them has received something in return, at some point, we got to start asking questions.
The blacks stay selling us out. The blacks. No loyalty. Know what I mean? No camaraderie. You feel me? No on-codedness. The blacks. You know? Price tags on their head top. Let's go. Let's double back. Let's cover that topic of the Doja Cat. I skipped over this real quick. Let's double back and keep it moving because we are talking about the passport bros, the podcast bros, and all of the people who have sold out to this quote unquote administration and are talking super double talk and leading the children astray. This is the king of them niggas right here.
If we control Africa, there's going to be more of them over with us. You know? You guys know what I'm saying. You know, like...
What, he got a black daddy and a Jewish mother, correct?
We don't mind the music a bit, but we don't want to live near them. You know? You know, like, the whole property market is basically, how close can I be to my job while not living near blacks? So if we control all of Africa, they're going to end up, like, fucking flying over and overstaying visas and being here. Like, do we really want more?
What?
Why are you so black?
Because that's how God made me.
Why is mommy so white?
Because that's how God made mommy. What's all these questions?
That's why I'm mixed.
Yeah, you got best of both worlds, honey. Why?
I'm glad I'm not as black as you.
Whoa, bro, I'm not even all that black. Relax, black is beautiful.
Rose up another army which fought against their African mothers and fathers.
In Africa, when the Europeans came in, the Portuguese would mate with the Africans, and their offspring would be called Lancados. And the Lancados were the offspring of African and Europeans. And what happened was the Lancados, the mixed offspring of the Europeans and the Africans, they became slave traders themselves because, again, a lot of biracial children would take on the ideology of the father. So whenever you see people talk about, well, Africans sold other Africans, this is really who they're talking about.
When the Inquisition came, many of the Jews left Portugal and went to West Africa. This is during the period of 14 and 1500s. And they became the people who were running the slave trade. Some were Christians, some were Jews, many were Jews. And what they would do would marry African women.
Man, Andrew Tate's dad was a chess player, right? Yeah, a famous one. Let's get to this. Let's keep this thing moving because, like I said, it's so much going on. I hope we could cover everything today because Lord have mercy. But shit, let's go right to the motherfucking. Let's heat the stove up. Before we heat the stove up, let's get to La Russell. Fuck it. We doing hip hop, right?
Russell is a prime example of what happens when you lack accountability. This is new generation of people who double, triple, and quadruple down on their points, blatantly being wrong. And now you had to delete all your shit because you lack that much accountability that you can't just say, oh, my bad, I did not quite understand the meaning of heaven sent. And then on top of that, this is also a prime example of how people will use God to justify their ignorance.
Oh, wait, y'all don't know
like
what
the
happened?
man said,
Let's
when people
go
believe
right
that
here
there's...
before we go there. Hold on.
PA's balance is off. She's still heaven sent. The kitchen is closed, but the bar is still open. Heaven sent. Getting charged because you forgot to cancel your membership after the free trial ended. Heaven sent. DoorDash fees. Heaven sent. We all heaven sent. Wet socks. Heaven sent. Flies at the barbecue. They still heaven sent. The IRS is still heaven sent. Rush hour traffic. Heaven sent. Slow Wi-Fi is still heaven sent. The dude who put the boot on your car, he heaven sent. Transaction fees when they force you to pay for these things online, heaven sent. Sani, Aquafina, heaven sent. Getting a light-skinned stunt double to stand in for me that looks nothing like me. Still heaven sent. Peeps and candy corn, they all heaven sent. Even when I'm the dude who just slapped me for no reason, he heaven sent.
So LaRussell put a song out that said that Hitler, Epstein, and a whole bunch of people who we don't fuck with are all heaven sent. And he thought he was being deep. You know what I mean? Like he was coming with that woke shit. You know what I'm talking about? No disrespect, but there's just some things that, you know, what once again, a wise man can play a fool, but a fool cannot play a wise man. So he jumped out there with this woke shit and niggas cooked him. Then he got in his feelings and tried to niggas explain and got cooked again. And then he had to delete all of his social media and he's hiding somewhere and whatnot. So yeah, it's a great teaching moment of why niggas need to stay in their place and stop trying to be deep. Just kick that nursery rhyme shit that you're doing, but don't ever try to step into no arena where you trying to be thoughtful, my nigga. That's not what you do.
In God, then they lack accountability amongst the world, essentially. This is a prime example of said thing. Oh, I was trying to do a good thing for the people. I'm a good man. I was singing a heavenly song. And this is why you said Adolf Hitler was heaven sent. Donald Trump is heaven sent. And Jeffrey Epstein was heaven sent. And it's just weird to me that the moment you sign a Rock Nation.
Right.
Okay. But next time, lynch it to your engineers when they tell you this is not a good song to put out. And you even admitting that shows the lack of accountability, because even though he even told you were wrong, you still quadrupled down and got on stage, and now you blew up your career.
I don't agree with all of the we gotta cancel people. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with cancel culture. I think it's fake. I don't like cancel culture. And I don't like when people are acting holier than thou. That's whack to me. You feel me? People have to give the opportunity to mess up sometimes. What LaRussell did was not the end of the world. He don't deserve to kind of get shitted on like that because of the work that he has put in. However, it's really how you handle your scandal, though. I can't hold nobody's hand. That's how the way that he handled his scandal was very poor, and it made matters worse and whatnot. That's when they smelled blood in the water, and that's when people started attacking him and washing him up, and they treating this nigga like a kickball right now, and he had to delete his socials. You feel me? That's kind of what that was about, So you got to be very careful and whatnot when you out here trying to be deep, and nobody asked for that. They was already on your ass because you signed with Rockefeller, with Jay-Z, my nigga. Like, that don't even make sense. That don't make no sense. You did all of that independence and to get down with Hova. I'm not hating. I'm just saying you didn't read the room. That nigga names was just in the Epstein files. Let this shit cool off a little bit, Playboy. Goddamn.
We all heaven sent. Adolf too.
Peace. So happy-go-lucky mid-lyricist rapper LaRussell is now getting Daniel Caesared because he said that a list of evil men were all heaven sent. He even included himself on that list, to be fair. Many of you may be surprised to hear me say this, but contextually, he's not wrong. Though linguistically, again, contextually, he's not wrong. If that context is biblical scripture. Yes, there are many scriptures in the Bible that make it unequivocally clear that God has complete and total sovereignty over everything, everywhere. God is omnipresent and omnipotent in the heavens and on earth. That includes all things good and bad. As the old spiritual goes, everything is moving by the power of God. You can't say everything is moving by the power of God and say at the same time that bad things happen, including bad people without God signing off on it, as illustrated in the story of Job, where God granted Satan the authority to wreak havoc in the life of his most faithful servant as a test of Job's faith and free will. Job's wife would argue that these events were not heaven sent. Job would argue otherwise because he too believed that everything is moving by the power of God. But that's not quite the argument that LaRussell made. LaRussell used a very specific term, heaven sent. And the connotation of heaven sent doesn't simply mean that something is present on earth by way of heaven, or that God simply allowed it to exist in whatever deal made with Satan. No, heaven sent inherently means a thing that is fortunate, something that is good, something that is desired. One cannot argue that the actions of Adolf were good, fortunate, or desired without exposing oneself as being evil too. But LaRussell doesn't see himself as evil. So why would he put himself on the same list as evil men under the umbrella of heaven sent? Because LaRussell doesn't know what heaven sent means. And he couldn't just say, oops, my bad. Forewarned by his own engineer, but his hubris made him pump it out to the public anyway. And then quadruple down and delete his socials when the inevitable pushback came, no matter how lovingly it was presented to him by the community. Ironically, this community rapper is getting Daniel Caesared for the same reason as Daniel Caesar, community.
I don't know which black people are in here, but I want you guys to talk up right now. Why are we being so mean to Jules? Why are we being so mean to white people right now? I see what you're saying. White people haven't been mean to us in the past. What are you going to do about that? Tell me what you're going to do about that. I think you guys are wrong, and I think I'm right. Answer me. Make me broke.
Now comes accountability. We out here.
And when that gap tooth nigga said, make me broke, they was like, all right, hold my latte, hold my sea moss, and cooked his ass. You know what I'm talking about? Cooked them. Once again, rappers, shut the fuck up and sit your asses down and go perform somewhere. Go work on your stage show. We don't need no social commentary from no goddamn rappers. Them days is over with. Y'all missed that boat. That y'all was popping in the 80s when it came to shit like that. There's no more of that. Okay? Y'all don't have a voice. Y'all don't even have a say. You know what I mean? These be them weird niggas that's laid up under Becky's and whatnot, like Doja Cat's father, because he was probably saying some weird ass shit until his daughter shitted on him. You know what I mean? When he was with Doja Cat mama, he probably was saying some out of pocket shit as well. Nah, not at all. No sirree, Bob. You know what I'm talking about?
So a few days ago, we were told that
once again, so many people are on the wrong side of history, y'all. So many of these niggas decide to wake up and be on the wrong side of history because this is the internet age. You got to know what the fuck you talking about because this is some shit you can't unsay. This is some shit that you can't unsay and you can't take back. And people is out here, they go on your ass. So let us pivot. Let's get into the ice shit, and then I want y'all to roll up. We're gonna take a break after that, and then we're gonna go smoke on the OnlyFans, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? But this ice shit is crazy. You know what I mean? This ice shit is but noodles. So let's get into that, and then let's get into the OnlyFans shit. Then we're gonna get into the Dolphins. I ain't gonna let you niggas down. We're gonna talk about the Dolphins and some other things. You dig? But check this coward shit out.
Dude, stop following, bro. Stop following. Please. First and then right. Really can't do anything. Okay. Have a good day. Go on, Neil. 2-6.
Yeah, roll up.
Don't be an attitude.
So they're running from people trying to film their faces and whatnot because they're cowards. Right? You should be proud of the job that you have. Stand on that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Stand on it. Check it out.
A couple of my friends who went through Hartsfield-Jackson this morning, which is our international airport here in Atlanta, they let me know that ICE is not there. ICE is not there as the security checkpoint. They're not there for that. They're not at the TSA checkpoint, you know, like going through body scanner and scanning your bags and stuff like that. They're after security. So they weren't there. ICE is not there before the check-in, like the body scanner and your bag getting scanned through the X-ray machine. They are after that. ICE is there at the airport, standing around, eyeballing people after the security check-in, after you've already been okayed to get on your plane. If you're not getting that through your fucking skull, you already went through the bag check and X-ray and body scan. Now ICE is at the airport as fucking whatever, the Gestapo. They're just there to intimidate and detain people, because you already know that's going to come. You already know people who have already gotten through security, already good, cleared to get on their flight, are going to be stopped and detained. You already know it. They are at Hartsfield-Jackson right now after the security check-in. Love it here.
Remember what I said when I came back from Colombia about the airport? Remember what I was, remember my observation about the airport? I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but them days of flying in and out this bitch unmolested is about to be over. You feel me? It's not gonna be the same the next time I go back into the airport. I could just feel it. My bones is telling me this is not. And they was doing eye scans. They were doing biometric eye scans coming back through customs. To whereas if the shit goes green, they'll let you through. If it goes red, they pointing your ass, go to the side somewhere, go over there, and the TSA will take you into a room or something. Once I saw that, I was like, oh hell nah. Escape from New York, Snake Plissken.
Gonna escape, it has to be a land border now. With ICE coming into the airports, unless you're white, you can't get out that way. There's no way to get out that way. You could do the land border, but you got less than a month. So if you're trying to leave the United States, you have to do it now. You need to get yourself on an Amtrak. You need to get to San Diego. You need to cross the border on foot. Once we get you into Mexico, I can get you other places. If you're a Black or BIPOC person, there's a whole list I have of countries that are safe, affordable, that you and your families can move to tomorrow. If you're a white person, there's a lot of countries you can move to. But if you're trying to flee, you have to do it on foot, and it's got to be this month. You have to go, or you're just going to be stuck. I can help you figure out work. I can help you figure out residency, citizenship. I can help you figure out, once we get you to Mexico, I can help you figure out all sorts of shit.
She gonna be like, comment, scroll. We good, Becky. I appreciate it. But like I was saying, they are going to close the border. They are trapping niggas inside of this motherfucking border. And if a martial law is declared, they're going to turn the fuck up. Trust me when I tell you, these are decisions. I ain't no fearmongerer. I don't push panic and fear, but this is some decisions that a nigga got to make right now. This is a decisions that somebody will have to make if they want to be within this quote unquote sinking ship, if they want to be inside of this quote unquote Coliseum and whatnot. Because once you make that decision, in order to get up out this bitch, it's not going to be at the ease in which it was before, right? And I'm not telling nobody they're not running me up out of my house. Your ass ain't getting ran up out your house, nigga. Take a fucking vacation somewhere and watch this shit from the outside. This ain't your house, nigga. The fuck you talking about? This is not your house.
I'll give you free one-on-one coaching. I will help you in any way that I can. But if you're gonna flee, it's gotta be by the border now. You need to download an app called iOverlander. Every single person needs to download iOverlander. You need to be looking at your back roads. What are back roads? What are borders that aren't really borders? Where can I cross into certain territories that isn't gonna have a checkpoint for me?
Palantir just made the announcement 2 days ago that they have fully taken over the military apparatus. They are the operating system, and they have Maverick, right? And this, once again, this is just information. This is not fear mongering. This is not to chase anybody out the hood. This is not to make people to take a move away from high gas, high rent, all of this shit that they got our people going under, right? All I'm saying is that the ramping up of this autonomous, or what they would call this surveillance state through AI, right, where they can lock the grid down, that is going to ramp up a lot. And those lists that have been prepared against people who they deemed as quote unquote homeland threats, that also is something that they are going to be initiating. So just be very on point with that. Be very mindful of that.
Overlander. Everyone needs to get Overlander, but if you're gonna get out of here, baby, it's gotta be by the border, and it's gotta be now.
All right, let's go to somewhere. Let's go to something else dealing with these ICE people. ICE, baby.
I know everybody can't stop flying, so here's some tips to help y'all get through this shit.
Everybody
can't stop flying, so here's some tips to help y'all get through this shit. Turn off your biometrics on your phone and power your phone off while you're going through TSA check. Print your boarding passes. Do not do that shit on your phone. Print it out, hand it to them in paper. Decline, and I do mean decline, to any biometric face scans if you are a U.S. citizen. Bitch, you ain't got to do that. Get you an encrypted chat with Signal or WhatsApp so they can't get through that hole. And keep your head on a swivel, including with these rideshare, Lyft, Uber drivers. You never know who ICE is going to plan to be. Discuss emergency plans with your group and stay in twos just in case somebody gets snatched up. And last, make sure you got everybody's contact number written down somewhere so that in case one of y'all gets snatched up, somebody can make a phone call. Good luck, and may the odds be in y'all favor.
I just don't, and I don't like the panic energy that they're going to try to rile up. Once again, melanated people need to be informed. Melanated people need to be calm. Melanated people do not to be reactionaries. Okay? They do not need to be reactionary. You know what I mean? Because they'll use that energy to create more chaos. Okay? Who has some of Tina's gumbo?
Awful experience. It was terrible. I haven't even tasted gumbo yet, but my feelings are so hurt. How Miss Tina did me is, oh my God. I was so embarrassed and so humiliated. I went and finished it out and finished my picture, getting my stuff, but I hate that I purchased from her. She treated me not in a good way. She treated me like I was nothing. It was terrible. I literally could break down and cry how awful that experience was. She didn't even say hi. She didn't even speak.
Yo, there's 100 videos about people talking about Miss Tina's gumbo. There's 100 I shit you not. There's 100 different videos of melanated people talking about how bad that shit smelled, how bad it tasted. There's throw up videos. There's people literally on the floor of their bathroom. Yeah, I'm talking about. And they got videos with Tina looking mad young after she served all them people that gumbo. She literally de-aged like 20 years on their asses.
Walked away from me several times without speaking or even putting a finger up to say, hold on, bitch, or anything. She treated me like I was beneath her or so far up under her. Like, it was disgusting. Only reason I have this shit is because I was too embarrassed to even walk away out of the line. I was so excited about meeting a celebrity. I never met one before, or anybody that was really famous. And I was so excited. It was like meeting the most evil, wicked witch of the West.
Well, Auntie, once again, here you go with that celebrity worship shit. This is Tina fucking Knowles. She never did anything but push Beyonce and Solange out of her womb. She's not a fucking celebrity. She's a mother. So the age of our people worshiping people and getting shitted on, the age of our people celebrity worshiping people and getting trafficked, the age of our people believing in these goddamn defunct D-list celebrities and whatnot and getting treated like the help and whatnot, Yeah, shit like that, until we really realize that none of these people are to be trusted, let alone eat from them. You eating from Tina Knowles? What, you thought you was gonna dance like Beyonce as a result? The fuck?
The gumbo, for starters, it stinks, and I'm not even lying. Hold it up, I can't even. The gumbo stinks. I feel like I would throw up even from it, but I'm gonna go ahead and taste.
Gumbo, period, stinks. Gumbo, if it ain't no vegan gumbo, the fuck? Gumbo, nigga? Gumbo, ma'am? At a fucking rodeo. Gumbo. Yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
because I went through the damn process. I don't even want to taste it. Like, I am so disgusted at the smell alone. The smell alone makes me want to not taste it. Well, her attitude alone makes me not want to taste it, and her treatment towards me. However, I bought it. I'm here. Some celebrity bullshit. Let's go. I'm honestly scared to taste.
You say it smells bad. The woman didn't treat you good, but you're putting it in your mouth. Do people understand do people understand the fucking that's what that just this video alone shows you how crazy it's not. Tina Knowles is crazy, but you're crazier. How would you put that in your mouth? Do you know what that does to you? You literally, you're saying, nigga, this witchcraft. You're saying what it is, but you're gonna put it in your mouth. Come on, fam. Like, come on, fam.
Look at these shrimp. These ain't the same size shrimp they had at first. They was big, voluptuous, beautiful shrimp I was seeing all over the internet. This is not even the same shrimp. I don't think that I can even do it, y'all. I don't even want to taste it. I'm so disgusted.
Supposed to roof that shit.
I would like to, but the smell is
I can't. I can't even go through with taking a real taste.
Man, the grip that these people have on our people is fucking crazy, bro. The headlock that they be having people in. Tina Knowles. She's not known for doing anything. And it's like, if she's making gumbo, you got to ask yourself why. It's fucking Tina Knowles. She could be home with Rumi and the other and Blue in them. Like, you got grandma duties, ma. You don't got time to be making no gumbo. She don't need the money. She don't need the money.
$200 billion. I think that.
So she just know a fool when she see one. Y'all gotta one yourself for that. Go one yourself for that. Yeah, that's on you, mama. You know what I'm talking about? That's on you. You know? Let's continue walking, because we ain't even cover the war yet. We ain't even do the war report. We crawling up to that shit. What time is it? Lord have mercy. We got 30 more minutes before we up out of here.
We have some news right now. We have the third meteor.
Okay. All right. So the meteors is hitting. Let's go. Fuck is going on?
Right now, we have the third meteor sighting in the past 6 days, this time in California. According to the American Meteor Society, they received over 200 notifications, including some notifications of a sonic boom of a meteor in the past 12 hours or so. According to the American Meteor Society, it happened over Coachella, California. They received over 200 reports from folks Arizona, California, Nevada, about 35,000 feet above Coachella. Now, the AMS did make clear that this meteor sighting didn't have anything to do with the others. I am curious, if you live in California, Nevada, Arizona, did you hear the meteor as a sonic boom potentially? Did you see the meteor as a green meteor that lit up the sky late last night, and we're just getting reports that it actually happened? As always, spread the word, follow along for more.
We got
and yes,
Houston.
there is another meteor in Ohio this week, and then as well in Texas. So 3 meteors, Cali. 6 days, spread the word.
Then we got images of the quote-unquote, there's a hole in the Milky Way, a huge hole in the Milky Way, right? Something has happened with the firmament. Okay, something has definitely happened with the firmament. I remember being on 363 Empire, and Rich was interviewing me. I didn't have all of the information about that. I went deep diving afterwards, and I was like, bro, let's get back on and talk about this shit, because this is some crazy shit going on. Here I'm talking about, you want to talk about crazy shit going on, let's talk about the Dolphins. But before we get into the Dolphins, let's talk about, let's listen.
The United States Navy has attacked dolphins, right? Right now, today, at this very moment, as you are watching this video, around the Navy ships that are in the piers on our naval bases, there are dolphins in the water that the Navy uses as attack dolphins. I got to meet some of them when I was in the Navy. I was stationed at, my second squadron was called VR-59. It's the Space Available Transport Squadron. We have a Boeing 737 and it is modified. It's literally on lease from Boeing. It is modified for cargo transport. So the front section of the plane, you take the seats out and it has a giant cargo door that lifts up on the left side of the plane if you're facing the front of the plane, let's say. One time we were flying to San Diego and we loaded dolphins into the plane. This giant water tanks with these massive fucking dolphins in them. The dolphin was huge, and we got to listen to the trainers, the transporters of the dolphins, tell us how they use them for training. Those dolphins that we were taking were on the way to go do training at BUDS for the Navy SEALs. They take them out into the bay and they have them practice with the dolphins and basically play hide and go seek. The dolphins are trying to find the guys and they're trying to avoid being seen by this dolphin. They tag the dolphin with light so you can see the dolphin. They have glow sticks on the dolphins. You can see where the dolphin is in the water, and they are trying to avoid being captured by the dolphins. And then whenever the dolphin sees them, finds them eventually, no one probably ever wins against the dolphin, comes up and tags them. It actually hits them, which is crazy because the dolphins could kill them for real if they wanted to. That's what the dolphins are literally being used for and trained for. If they were in the port and someone was going to try to come up and hurt one of our ships or do damage to one of our ships or any of our personnel, the dolphins could literally kill the person. But they come up and they just like basically hit them really hard because they're extremely intelligent creatures. But we have dolphins that are specifically meant to attack people. The United States Navy, just the same way they got psychics and witches, they got dolphins. Bring some water.
Did y'all know that it is illegal to talk to dolphins and whales? They are the only animals in the kingdom that is illegal to talk. Do you know that you will get locked up if you are talking to dolphins? I did not know this. I did not know this, y'all. I did not know that it was illegal to talk to the dolphins. There's a lot going on right now in this quote unquote world, especially when it comes to the quote unquote UFOs. When it comes to the dolphins, when it comes to the UFOs, when it comes to paranormal activity, shit is ramping up in ways that we've never seen before. All right? Check this story out about the dolphins.
About to get real interesting.
Is there any other animal that the government has specifically put restrictions on communication with?
No, the Marine Mammal Protection Act is fairly unique in its restrictions on interaction with wild animals, specifically marine mammals like dolphins, whales, and seals. While other animals are protected under different laws, such as endangered species protections, there aren't any other species where the government has put specific restrictions on communication or interaction in the same way. It seems like the government specifically singled out dolphins and marine mammals due to their unique cognitive abilities and the potential for unpredictable consequences if humans were to establish deeper, possibly telepathic forms of communication.
I don't think y'all truly understand what y'all just heard. We can literally, and I mean literally, communicate with dolphins, like actually communicate, have a conversation, just not verbally. And to prove it's real, they made it illegal so you don't do it. The fact that it's illegal proves that it's possible. Now, this is where it gets fucking crazier. People, they are keeping us from certain shit because they know if we tap into it, we are going to go deeper into an awakening. Y'all have no idea what the fuck really exists out there. And dolphins can help us discover new things that are on a spiritual level. You guys are so conditioned to believe that humans are the only way to reach freedom that you wouldn't even remotely even guess that a dolphin could be helping humanity right now. But anyways, let's keep going. Listen to this.
There were significant studies, including those led by John C. Lilly, who received funding from NASA for his research on dolphin intelligence and potential communication. If they had access to a kind of universal consciousness or could communicate with entities outside of the human experience, it would make sense that the government would want to restrict human contact with them, especially if they felt that dolphin communication could be a gateway to something far beyond human comprehension.
Now that you just heard everything you heard, really let that sizzle with your spirit. They just said dolphins can communicate with things that are outside of the human experience. I don't think you heard me correctly. Outside of the human experience. They made it illegal because they don't want you tapping into some shit that is beyond what you can even comprehend. If these dolphins are capable of tapping into higher dimensional things or things that are of love that are here to help us, doesn't it make sense that they would tell us, don't trust them? They don't want us to know what the fuck is really going on. Now, if dolphins can literally communicate with things that are beyond the human experience, they can definitely help us reach freedom and give us information that could help us and benefit us. This is how dolphins can help humanity get free, because they can give us information and teach us new ways of life that we don't even understand.
First time I talked to a dolphin, I was on shrooms in Miami. The nigga name was Flipper. And then the next time I was talking to a dolphin, he was doing a song called 100 Shots. Yeah, I talked to dolphins, my niggas. But check this shit out.
Florida man claims dolphins forced him to build an underwater city. He said the dolphins kidnapped him. He was found on the beach in Lee County. He was soaking wet, he was dehydrated, and he was confused. When they found him, he had detailed diagrams in the sand of what the underwater world looked like that he built for the dolphins. And it was so detailed, intrinsic, that the police was like, what in the world? He said a pod of dolphins took him while he was swimming and brought him to a place about 40 feet under the surface. He said they forced him to help him build underwater structures. He told the deputies the dolphins communicated with him using clicks. The leader of the dolphins was named Gerald. Out of all the names, his name could have been Tom. Gerald is so strong. That's like an old school name. Do you hear me? My uncle Gerald told me that sounds like that to me. That's so specific and random. So why would he lie about that? Gerald helped him breathe underwater. He created some type of air pocket. He said he spent 3 days working on what he describes as cities, towns, and condo-like structures. When the dolphins were satisfied with his work, they sent him back to the surface and told him they would return and get him for phase 2. I want to know what phase 2 is. I feel like they do have a plan. He went to the hospital. Medical staff treated him for dehydration, but found no signs of head injury. No mental confusion, no alcohol in his system, no DRUGS, like nothing that makes you think this man is mentally like, what he on? They also found seawater and marine particles in his lungs, suggesting he had been deep underwater for a long time without typical lung damage. He ain't drowned. 40 feet of water for 3 days, ain't drowned. This man holds a master's degree in aerospace engineering and has experience with deep sea technology, which he says is why the dolphins chose him. They arrested him because the resources that were used to find him. Whole time he was kidnapped. What I'm supposed to do? I didn't even know that it's illegal to talk to dolphins. Why would it be illegal to talk to dolphins? Who came up with that if it wasn't something to it? Why can't we talk to dolphins? Why is that illegal? Questions we never asked ourselves that we should. We need to find out what the dolphins said. What did Gerald say? Why is he building the underwater city now? What is he getting ready for? There are way more questions we need to ask. There is information this man has that we all need to know. What do the dolphins know that we don't? The things that we don't entertain that we should, and the things that we entertain that we should not. Do you understand? That's all. That's the only point I'm trying to make.
Motherfucking dolphins got niggas building shit for them right now. You know what I'm talking about? God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the dolphins out there. Yeah, hey, like what the fuck? And it's only Monday, y'all. It's only Monday. I got about 2 hours left of videos. It's only friggin' Monday. It's only Monday.
Let's talk about TSA and ICE at the airports.
Let's get a little TSA and then let's get to some more. Let's touch on some other things. I don't want to gloss over this. I don't want to miss this one.
About TSA and ICE at the airports and what the Senate not funding DHS, what that actually means, what the greater implications are. Not funding DHS actually helps this administration with its endgame. I'd argue it's exactly what they want. Look, this is my opinion, but it's a common one for people who have been on the ground interacting with our government federally, locally, everything in between for the past year. The goal of this administration is one national police force, everything being absorbed under one agency, under the banner of ICE. That feels very obvious to us. We've seen it already. We've seen collusion and collaboration between state and local law enforcement with ICE. They're all working together. I don't care what they're telling the public. Here in California, law enforcement is absolutely working.
I said this before. And I also highlighted the fact that ICE had that new budget from the big, beautiful bill, right? And I spoke on that. And I'm like, don't fall for the ICE. Me and Blue was touching on that. Blue was breaking it down, and I was doing the Iceman Come Up series and whatnot. So them hitting the airport is the next phase of it. Please pay attention and do not fall for the shenanigans and the okie doke. They are doing this for provocations. They are merging, right, into one unit. And then they're going to bring the IDF in.
With ICE, especially in LA. There is no difference between ICE and LAPD. How does shutting down DHS help ICE? Well, this DHS funding bill has nothing to do with ICE. ICE is fully funded. ICE has a budget larger than most world militaries just for their department. The other agencies under DHS, on the other hand, well, those agencies include TSA, Customs and Border Protection, FEMA, Immigration Services, the Coast Guard, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure, the Secret Service, the Office of Health and Safety, the Office of the Inspector General, just to name a few. Look, here's my bet. ICE coming into our airports, that's step one. They become TSA, they become Customs and Border Protection. They take over all these agencies. ICE will control the airports in every city, every town, and they will control the police force in every city, every town. Think about that. Who will you call for help? You can't call 911. We already know that here in LA. Asking LAPD for help with ICE, that will likely get you arrested or abducted by ICE. Whatever your idea of safety within the systems that we've grown accustomed to, that's over. It's over. They have all of our data. They're scanning our faces everywhere we go in LA, every interaction we have with any law enforcement. We are occupied. ICE is about to occupy every single city in America, starting with your airports. If you haven't been activated to join the fight yet, now would be a really...
Relax, Becky. The Palantir deal is what sealed it all. The Palantir deal is what sealed it all. That's the beginning of this movement. Like I said, pay attention to Palantir and ICE together and what they're doing with all of that biometric information, what they're doing with the face scan. All of this stuff is relative, okay? All of this stuff is relative. Let's put into more perspective as to what era or what epoch or what window we're in, okay?
Fire season is upon us, starting today and running through to May 1st. This is when the secret society, dark occultists that run the world, love to conduct their false flag mass trauma events. Everything from the Boston bombings to the sinking of the Titanic to Port Arthur. And as you guys know, I predicted that World War III would kick off this year, likely on February 28th, because of my understanding of how these secret society, dark occultist calendars work and the prophecies, the script that they are following to bring about World War III, which is all written by Freemason and Kabbalist Albert Pike back in 1871, where they're going to weaponize political Zionism, which has infiltrated and blackmailed the West, against Islam for mutual destruction to bring about their Antichrist. This is the crazy stuff these people believe in. So in the Middle East, the US are running out of these interceptor missiles. Maybe they've got a week's worth left, but they require rare earth metals and years to build, so you can't just replenish those stockpiles. So this is going to leave the US, Israel and its allies unprotected and desperate, while Trump is saying things like we could destroy Iran in an hour if we wanted to. You know, what craziness have they got planned? And you've got Joe Kent, the director of counterterrorism, resigning and openly saying that Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful lobby. So Netanyahu's been lying about Iran being weeks away from nukes for 40 years. He lied about weapons of mass destruction, 9/11, the war in Iraq. Mossad's motto is literally, by way of deception, we'll wage war. So, you know, these people are evil psychopaths that lie. So is there another false flag coming? They've spoken about the Samsung option where they'll just nuke everyone if they think they're going to lose. So we've got these fuel price spikes and shortages, the UK and everywhere talking about rationing, Sri Lanka talking about giving people days off, and nowhere worse than Australia, which is a test bed for the New World Order, right? Where we've got a couple of weeks worth and then already tapping into these reserves, and we're hearing talk of lockdown type scenarios, COVID 2.0, right? So we've got blackouts in Cuba, but this isn't just a transport issue. This is going to be power, food shortages, and think about what this would mean for the West that continues to be flooded with a record number of immigrants in a cost of living crisis. Now, this is all a great distraction from the Epstein files, UFO disclosure, which the government are talking about. The UK ran meningitis pandemic exercises last year. Now they're talking about an outbreak. So we've got all these catalysts. I don't know what lever they're going to pull for this sacrifice season, but be prepared, stay safe. You know, hopefully people wake up, unite and rise up together against all this tyranny. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Cheers.
So not only are they hitting us with all of these distractions and whatnot, right? We're going to talk about the energy lockdown that's coming and whatnot, but this is going to trigger our people.
You laughing? Bitch, my wife is a Spanish bitch, and she's dark soul, bitch. We will destroy you. I'll show you don't fuck with you. I'll show you don't fuck with you. Find you another DOT, bitch. We done it. Close that door. Cause bitch, I'm a registered terrorist. I'm a hard up bitch. Why was she fucking trying to play with me? I know it ain't you. Why you play with me? Bitch, I'll throw your motherfucking phone. You recording me? You recording me? Are you recording me? You recording me? You recording me? Yo, bitch, I don't do that. You got hurt, you bitch. I'm a registered terrorist, bitch. Delete that video. And you go viral. I'm suing for tears. I'm suing for tears. Ain't nobody coming.
They crashing, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? They out there crashing. Pay attention. The Dolphins gonna have to come and save niggas. They crashing. She on the top of that bitch. You will not, yeah. So I understand, you know, the conscious folk and everything, you know, we meditate, we calm and everything, but the 85ers, okay, gotta remember, they weaponized the 85ers against not only themselves, but everyone. You know what I mean? We gotta understand, go talk to your 85ers. You better go talk to the 85ers. Don't talk to me. Hear what I'm talking about? Go talk to the knuckle draggers, because they the ones that are gonna get triggered by this shit. They're gonna push them niggas like a kamikaze robot.
No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Want to find out? Want to find out? Come on, call your call. Why nobody can't help y'all yet? I can't stop that. Ain't nobody can help y'all yet. Ain't nobody can help y'all yet. I've been cutting up for a long time. Where's your help?
Long time. That beautiful melanin.
Where's your help?
She's just trying to get to where she gotta go.
Where's the help?
I felt like that in the airport before. I remember when I missed my flight to Bogota. I was ready to go off, you know what I mean? But I get it. You know what I'm talking about? I get it. But they're gonna have our people. It's the pressure bust pipe.
It's called Davis, bitch. Get you some, bitch. I cut up. Bitch, spinning up viral. Bitch, hold on, dumbass. I'm a witch, bitch. I'm real spiritual, bitch. I'm a witch, bitch. Ain't nobody came to help you like that. Why? Why ain't nobody show up? Why? Why? Shut the fuck up, bitch. What's your name? What's your name? Put your bitch ass in the cannon. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what?
Did she say she a witch? Right? They're gonna have our people crashing out and then try to make them the face of this shit. That I don't like that for us. You know what I mean? But with all of that turmoil going on, they already committed. They already did their ritual at the airport. They caught a body today at the airport. So the ritual is locked in. The ritual is locked in. Pay attention.
If you haven't heard, today a plane crashed at LaGuardia Airport, killing the pilot and the co-pilot upon landing because it crashed into a ground vehicle, and it ended up looking like this. Okay, I hate to be the bearer of conspiracy theories, but nobody's talking about this, and this has to be said. How does a plane land and hit a ground moving vehicle and end up like this, but yet hit the World Trade Center and slice through it like Swiss fucking cheese and bring the whole building down? What the fuck?
Came in like a missile, like a fireball missile across from the New York harbor side, I guess.
Came in like a missile, like a fireball missile, like a fireball missile across from the New York harbor.
It came in like a spear. It just speared through the building like a fireball.
Shout out to my guy, you know what I mean? Shout out to my guy. And check this out too. Pay attention.
This time it's different, and honestly, I think it's a lot worse. Okay, it looks like we've got another lockdown coming, and this time it's not like the one we had in 2020. This time it's different, and honestly, I think it's a lot worse, because this time, you know, no one's going to stand there and tell you to stay inside. No one's going to say don't leave your house. But, you know, the fuel prices are going up, the electric's going to go up, the food is going to go up, and all of a sudden, you're not going to be able to go out as much. You're not going to be able to drive as much. You know, you're not living how you used to, not because you've been told to, but because life is literally now unaffordable, right? That is going to be the difference, but it is going to happen. This lockdown is coming, and it's going to be very quiet, right? It's going to creep in, and before you even clock it, your whole lifestyle is going to be changed. And we've already seen this happening, haven't we, right now? Like, if you just go and look at the likes of, let's say, you know, Japan, they're already holding down a lot of the fuel right now. You've got South Korea that are rationing fuel, Bangladesh, Philippines, all of them are rationing. Australia, their government is telling people to avoid non-essential journeys right now. This is exactly what they said in COVID, right? Avoid non-essential travel, work from home, only go out for essential purposes. You know, in 2020, they called it health measure, but now, in 2026, they're gonna call it sort of like energy measures. Ultimately, you know, they won't need to lock you down this time because you'll probably be doing it yourself and you won't even realize. But obviously, as always, beautiful people, this was just for entertainment. I'm about to go live if you want to come and have a little chat with me live on Facebook. Big love to you all, and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
Let's get back in the airports real quick. Let's get back to the airports real quick just to get a better understanding as to what the hell is going on.
White people supporting, simping for, and championing ICE, I get that. White people's entire existence is submission and subservience to evil. That's their entire reality and existence since their inception by the Spanish and the Portuguese. That's what whiteness is. Subservience to evil. While, you know, convincing yourself that you are the king of your own little castle. You're just a fucking vassal, you know? Now, white people I get. Black and brown ICE agents, That's the anomaly to me. That's the weird fucking thing to me. No amount of money is worth being a class and race traitor. None. You could not pay me to betray my own people. You could not betray me to betray other marginalized communities. You could not pay me to do that. I say it all the time. I don't want wealth. I just want enough to where my family can live comfortably. I do not want to be wealthy because I see what money does to the inner workings of people. You know, we may say that money corrupts, you know, or there may be some underlying issues that were already there, you know what I mean, that money just exacerbates. But I genuinely think that a lot of people who come into more money, or they're offered more money, come into more money than they're used to, they start to act different. They start to be different. They start to act weird. And I'm seeing way more black ICE agents. Way more over the past couple months. Nobody could pay me to. They're so odd to me, and I hope other black people continue to hold their weird fucking asses accountable. They're Nazis. They are neo-Confederates. They masses little snitches. That's all they are. I'm a hop to a mass. They're fucking jigaboos. Step and fetch it. Step and fetch it. That's the little.
Look, in other news, my geniuses, in other news, the fucking scientists are going missing.
It'd be crazy if 6 people connected to the very same U.S. Defense Research Network have gone missing in the last year. Let's get into it. Of course, you know the recent story about Major General William McCaslin, who went hiking in New Mexico and has never been seen again. He took his gun with him. That's it. What about Monica Reza, aerospace engineer, co-inventor of Mondelez? Worked with NASA, JPL, you know. She went hiking in Angeles National Forest. Waved at her friend, never seen again. We have Melissa Cassius, Los Alamos National Laboratory employee, as well as a national defense contractor. Goes to work that morning, texts her daughter saying she forgot her badge, which had never happened before. They find both of her phones on factory reset. She walked into the forest and was never seen again. Then we have Jacob Pritchard, who in October of 2025 shot his own wife. Him and his wife were both connected to AFRL.
I think the Dolphins got him. What y'all think? I think the Dolphins got him.
And then he broke into his co-worker's home, happened to be First Lieutenant Jamie Gustis, and shot him, and then Jacob Pritchard turned the gun on himself. That is 3 AFRL connected people dead in one night. Carl Grimlar, a Caltech astronaut, scientist, research for Department of Defense, all that. He calls the police because a suspicious man with a gun was on his property. That somehow blows over. Then the suspicious man returns to his property and gets in a gunfight with Carl, and Carl ultimately died from that gunfight. Oh, wait. Let me just remind everyone, the charges were dismissed after the initial report. So they let this guy just come back to Carl's house. Clearly a hit. Then, of course, the most recent one, William McCaslin. Do you notice how hiking and being in the woods is a prominent theme? Anyways, what does this all mean? In my opinion, it means that alien disclosure is coming, and they are taking out anyone who knows anything to do with it because they want to shape the narrative exactly as they see fit. Either that or the aliens are scooping up their favorite researchers and being like, y'all can come with us before the end. Either way, it's a good time to throw down on Kalshi. The government is going to disclose that aliens are real by the end of the year. Hit the link in bio, use promo code 4REAL, get the free $10 bet. You're getting 6-to-1 odds right now. Put it down on aliens, son. Peace.
Yo, I got Brozy O'Donnell, Chocolate Godiva. I got some shit lined up, but it's getting late. We gonna gotta do a part 2. We gonna have to do a part 2 because it's too much sauce. I can't. I don't want to skip through shit. I don't want to rush through things. But the lineup I got is fucking bananas, bro. You have no idea. Then there's so much shit going on with the war. We just gonna have to do another war report. But let's get to the topic. Let's get to the highlight of today, man. Roll up them packs. I need y'all to light up. It's time to smoke, my geniuses. We've been rocking for all of this time. man, let's let some shit off, man, because God is good all the time. Let's go. We got a body. We got one. We got one.
Hitler has died. The OnlyFans owner has died at 43 to cancer. He was the largest donor to APAC in 2024. OnlyFans is probably the most cancerous company to society. Look, I don't think anyone should die. It's bad, but this is a crazy one.
This nigga said Hitler has died. Oh man. Look, I am a advocate for women expressing themselves, the beauty of women, the quote unquote, all of these things. Like, I'm not a prune, but I'm definitely not co-signing I'm not co-signing the exploitation of women and masking it behind liberation, sexual liberation, and all of this. Motherfucker was like a rabbi and the IDF's biggest contributor. No, this was exploitation of the highest level.
My life is nothing but a comedy.
Okay, they were pimping women, and his ass is gone. How you gonna have all that money and you didn't go see Heru to get some motherfucking olive leaf extract?
Yes, rest in piss. This is great fucking news. This guy was the reason every woman in our country is a stupid fucking brainless whore and thinks it's okay to sell their body online and profit off of it. You're a fucking prostitute. You are not talented. You're not a content creator. You suck cock for money. And now this guy who pushed that shit in our country has a lifetime subscription and it's in hell with fucking Satan. Fuck you. I am so happy. Oh my God, this is a great day. New op in the air. Is gas or what? Suck my dick. Rest in piss. Go fuck yourself.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. You know what I mean? This is what they was warning against with these red pill guys. They're fucking angry guys. Okay, there's some angry people and whatnot. They're triggered. They're triggered. Niggas is losing their girlfriends to OF. Niggas is triggered. I don't judge. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing to do with that. I just report the news and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I just report the news. But yes, they are mad, but they are glad at the same time. Obviously, OF and the red pill bros, they're bumping heads and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot. It's just a lot. It's intersecting. There's a lot of intersections when it comes to shit like this. But yeah, here we go.
The party started right. Let's get this party started swiftly. Right.
What'd you say, Donnie? Donnie, what the fuck? Put your shirt on, boy. What you say?
Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started swiftly. Right. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started swiftly. Right.
They go to Dolphins. They go to Top Secret Files. I think that's Pam Bondi right there playing Pamela Anderson. They go to fucking Arab Sheiks. They go Ice. That's Pete Hegseth with the tattoos and the fucking, he's playing David Hasselhoff and whatnot. There's Metayahu and the motherfucking Weekend at Bernie's laying right there looking dead and whatnot. They go to OF Girls and whatnot, and he's at Mar-a-Lago. What are we talking about? We got to do a part 2. Spring break, niggas. Spring break. Spring break. This whole shit is broken. Spring break. We got to do a part 2. I got so much heat that I'm not even going to waste I can't even do it, man. Yo, Donald, come and take us home, man. Come and take us home.
Treibt die Menschen an, die rückwärts gewandt sind. War Brothers präsentiert. Das neue Endzeit-Epos für alle, bei denen der Tank halb voll und der Kopf halb leer ist. Begleiten Sie das Department of War bei seiner nächsten Friedensmission. Ein Roadtrip, angetrieben von Öl, Nostalgie und jahrzehntelangem Stillstand. Während sich die Welt weiterdreht, kämpfen sie gegen das Verbrenner aus. Global Warming war gestern. Jetzt werden die Motoren wieder aufgeheizt. Donald Trump in Mad Don Fury Fuel. Jetzt auf DVD.
Oh man, it's going down out there, boy. It is going down. Wait a minute, man. I don't know. I can't not let the goddess shine. You know what I mean? I cannot let the goddess shine. You feel me? I cannot let the goddess shine. Let me let Chocolate come and talk to us before we get up out of here. Let me let Chocolate Godiva talk to us. We ain't seen her in a while. Come on, Chocolate.
A lot of y'all been asking me if this video of Netanyahu addressing the public about what has happened overnight, is it AI? Is it propaganda? It looks edited to me. It's a good possibility it is edited. It's a good possibility it is AI. We can't say for certain. And I really want y'all to start taking everything at face value when it comes to this man been with his mama's hips. Anybody on that team, take it at face value. Because all they do is lie. All they do is lie. Okay? It's a good possibility you're never going to know whether or not, until it's like way further down the line, if it's AI or not. You just won't know. And the reason for that is to confuse you and to stress you out. And to keep you in a state of chaos and illusion. They are the masters of illusionary, right? We don't know. The point is, you're not supposed to give a fuck. You're not supposed to give a fuck. And let me help you understand why. Because the truth, the signs will always be around you. The signs will always be around you. Yesterday, one of my homegirls sent me over a video. Thanks, Nikki. And I thought that you guys would love to see maybe something that'll bring you a little bit of peace. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look. What we do know is that his wife, who we was told by the streets, has struggled with alcohol abuse. This is her in a recent Zoom meeting in court. And they're saying that she looks like she, but baby, I don't think.
That's Satan Yahu's wife, y'all. Oh my goodness. Look at her face. Lord have mercy. She got a whole lot of demons in her.
That's her falling asleep from that. That was her falling asleep from that. That's not from no. That's from the. They said she look a hot ass mess. She look a rat. I don't know if her husband is dead or not. What I do know is Sarah.
No wonder this nigga's on his Satan shit. He got to come home to Sarah every night. No wonder this. No wonder Netanyahu do the shit that he do. Look who he laying out with.
Girl, you looking rough. You looking rough right now, girl. You looking real rough.
She did not. Yeah. Bookie. She did not do the motherfucking she ain't do the self-care day. Netanyahu is not sending her to the spa. She needs to go to Jeju, my nigga. God damn.
Be destroyed. Look at her eyes. That's all I know. I can't tell y'all for certain because they are the masters of illusion. I cannot tell y'all for certain, okay? But what I can tell you is that there are signs.
Yes, that is not non-kosher. I'm sorry. Sorry. She was eating Miss Tina gumbo. That's what she looked like. She all swollen like she was eating that goddamn gumbo at the rodeo. What we talking about? Listen. What are we talking about? Listen. We got an event coming up. Okay. We got an event coming up. And it's going to be the hottest thing in motherfucking town. Let me tell you. I'm going to just give you some insight. As to what we're going to be talking about real quick with the Claw bot. Call me Dr. Claw Anderson.
You're going to use NVIDIA's Nemo Claw to generate tens of thousands of dollars per month. This is the file structure that you're going to use. I'm using Nemo Claw to create an AI CMO, an AI Chief Marketing Officer that serves up multiple companies. Now I'm charging $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 per month. This is a CMO. This is one of the most important positions at a company that Nemo Claw is about to automate. Let's start with the first layer. This is all your Nemo Claw code. Your Nemo Claw code, the repo, the credentials, and OpenShell, which starts it all, is going to live on the same layer as your clients, okay? So your client A, client B, client C. So they're on the same level. Remember that, it's important. Now, each individual client is its own container. These are all individual agents. So every single client will have their own agent that they talk to.
I don't know if y'all can understand what this man is talking about, but the claw bot, right? That's why I got a fucking lobster in my hand, because it's dealing with the claw bot. You know what I mean? And where we are right now is that the AI could literally become a CTO, a CEO. You could actually run a one-man company that could make you millions of dollars. We have entered into the 4-hour work week, ladies and gentlemen. White folks ain't gonna tell you about it. As a matter of fact, let me not even say that, because white folks are all over the internet telling you about it. We just not probably listening and whatnot. They all on X. They all over my timeline on IG. They everywhere giving up the game. Okay, it's just that we are completely distracted from what the fuck is really happening. So on April the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th, I'm gonna be in North Carolina on sovereign land, and we're gonna have a 72-hour boot camp. And I need anybody that's trying to level the fuck up and do what needs to be done so we could get the fuck out of here, right? You don't gotta run nowhere, but you gotta get out of these corporate America. You gotta get out of the rat race. You gotta get out of the hamster wheel. You gotta get out of your fear bag, and you gotta deal with kinetic knowledge, right? Brother Heru broke it down last night. What is kinetic knowledge? Knowledge that you can use. Okay, so we're gonna have a 72-hour boot camp. It is coming up. I need y'all to sign up. We got limited space. We only got room for about 40 of us. Okay, but this shit is about to go crazy and whatnot. That is what I have to offer to the family, and it's coming up. And I look forward to seeing y'all. This is not for everyone. If you're not tech savvy, it's all good. You will become tech savvy in 72 hours. Bring your laptop. We're going to put Open Claw, Nemo Claw, Kimmy Claw, any of the claw bots on your computer, and we're going to teach you, and we're going to show you how to automate it. We're going to help you with Claude Cowork, Claude Skills. All of these things will happen in 72 hours. Your ass will walk up out of there with a fucking website if that's what it is that you need. You're going to walk out of there leveled up. The game is to be sold. So we here to sell it to you, and we here to help you out, and we here to level you up. This will cost thousands of dollars. The white folks are doing this shit for thousands of dollars, but we got you. So yes, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we will hit you with a part 2. A part 3 of spring break that will be coming up. Make sure on the way out for this 3-hour meal, you leave a tip. Don't dine and dash. That's not good. Do not dine and dash. The ancestors are watching you. Okay, you don't got to worry about me. The ancestors got me. You know what I'm talking about? They don't play about me. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you, and we will be back in the building very soon. All right, look out for your notification when we pop up with the next part of this demonstration. I promise you, we got about another 2 hours worth of clips. This is going to be talking about the war. This is going to be talking about Trump. This is going to be talking about Iran, and all of that other fly shit. But yeah, we're going to hit you with that part 2. Peace, love, and light to the familia. And we are going to end this. I think we're going to do pay us in crypto. Yeah, pay us in crypto. We're going to get up out of here with the crypto. All right. Peace, love, and light, y'all. 1,000. All right. Stay dangerous.
Pay us in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist pump. You stay up at dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco. And you say what the heck so. Every player gets snipped nose. Acting gay up in Cisco. Like take the day off and play up at Mistos, causing chaos and play up Calypso. I pause in kitchens and caused addictions. I pause prescriptions and cause inflictions. Lil Bixby playing in stores and bricks and on the dark web. You gotta pause every doors, cause encryptions. Tesla engines, pause the pistons. I seen every floor I leave sore enlisting. For that action they sponsored the Bronson. They was hooked on that shit like Johnson and Johnson. That freeway Ricky Ross, straight out of Compton, straight out of Bumpton. Red on blue, violence in the land. The projection of the will, the perfection of the kill, the reflection of the pills. I'm a frontline soldier, I'm no doja. These crystals not for focus and crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist pump, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, if you say what the heck so. Every player gets lips now, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up for pistols, causing chaos and play a calypso. Hickory dickory down, hit a lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot, lick off a shot. Heavy in the pedal, we slip off a knot. Heavy in the ghetto, they crib walk a lot. Crib walk the crypto, lift off the stocks. Drips off the crystal and pots. Disco rods in the blocks on my chain from the crystal shop. In the light air, lift off the rock. Toe Virgil right chain on my block. White paint on my socks. White paint on my socks. Hickory dickory dock. Hit the lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot, lick off a shot, we lick off a shot. Players in crypto, diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist pump, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, if you say what the heck so. Every player gets lips now, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up the pistols, causing chaos and play a calypso.